All right, everyone, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Pedal to the Metal.
This is for the ones who were raised on gasoline dreams, for the lug nuts holding tight to the wild red line scenes, for the families, the drivers, the wrench turning crews, for the chrome, the smoke, and the ones who refuse to lose. Where horsepower meets heart, yeah, that's who we are. We're a culture, we're a brotherhood, we are rolling motor fire. Bill Nye, that's the creed written deep in our veins. We turn busted cars into legends and rust into fame. From late night garage grind to race day stadium roars, every scar on our knuckles unlocked 1,000 doors. We don't back down, we don't break, we don't fold. Every ride we build tells a story worth gold. Gasoline trains, for the lug nuts holding tight to the wild red line scenes, for the families, the drivers, the wrench turning crews, for the chrome, the smoke, and the ones who refuse to lose. Where horsepower meets heart, yeah, that's who we are. We're a culture, we're a brotherhood, we are rolling motor fire. Slow down, but the engine said no when we stood our ground. To the ones who grew up rich and when the rest took the easy way, we found our path in the piston noise and we'll ride it every day. Pedal to the metal, this is where we belong. Cars, trucks, monster trucks, loud and strong. Passion, pride, lug nuts, side by side. If you love what you drive, garages, for the kids who chase dreams through the scars and collages, for the racers who gave everything without fail, and the fans who stand proud when the engines wail. Where horsepower meets heart, yeah, this ain't a phase. It's our passion, our culture, and we'll live into the grave. Pedal to the metal, forever in our veins. Getting louder from here. Nothing built strong was ever built out of fear. The road is wide open and the fire won't slow, because this isn't a hobby, this is the only life we know. Pedal down, heads high. We're not done. Pedal down, heads high. Pedal down. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Pedal to the Metal, the podcast where horsepower meets heart. From the shine of collector cars to the roar of race cars and the thunder of monster trucks, we've got it all. So buckle up your seatbelt, turn on the gas, and grab your favorite brew, 'cause the ride
What's up, everybody? What's up? Come on now. Come on. Hey, okay, just a little bit. Oh, I love the thunder. Give me some thunder, baby. Give me some thunder. That's what it's all about. There's my rowdies up front, man. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. Everybody up in the mezzanine, how you doing up there, man? Good to see y'all. Welcome, welcome. Let's bring it down. All right, I really appreciate it, man. You guys are the bomb. You guys are the bomb, man. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. You know, I'll tell you what, man, we got another great show. We're starting a little bit early tonight. It's only because we have a great interview from Craig Gould with the Classic Car Auction Group. He's going to be talking to us tonight about their auction on, let's see here, March 28th. It's an online auction. And Walker, this is right up in your avenue, man, because you're going to be able to bid on these cars right from your house, buddy. And if you have some stuff that you want to put in the auction, Walker, make sure you get a piece of paper and a pencil, and you can write this email address down and his phone number, and you don't have to take the cars to him. You can leave them right there at your house. All you got to do is take some pictures and give them a price and stuff, and they'll come. If they sell your car, the buyer is responsible for coming to your place to pick up the car. So it's kind of like a win-win situation for a seller that doesn't want to load his car up and take it clear up to Montana and stuff like that, guys. But anyway, and then we have Rebecca and Darron Schnell on tonight. They are with Bigfoot, and they have the Hot Wheels, or they are in charge of doing the European Hot Wheels Monster Truck Tour. And man, they're just great people. They are really great people. They have an interesting story, and I've been looking forward to this one for a long time. So we got let's see here. Next week, on Sunday on the 22nd, we have Josh Bumgardner. He's from Bigfoot. He's got a Bigfoot monster truck that he takes all over to different events. We'll be talking to Josh, and then legendary Alan Pizzo with Predator and Prowler monster trucks, man. This guy has been in the monster truck business forever. I mean, forever. And he is an icon in the business. They even have the Predator monster truck in the Hall of Fame Museum. So it's going to be pretty cool. Really is going to be really cool. And then I'm in talks right now with Mike Welsh with Super Pete back in the day. Y'all remember Super Pete. Mike Welsh is going to be on the show. He's going to pick a date and let us know. In March, we have Lindsey Johnson, the wife of B.J. Johnson with the Gas Monkey Garage Car. She's going to be on the 1st of March. And then on the 8th of March, we have Bigfoot driver, legendary, and a great friend of mine, Mr. Larry Swim. He just confirmed tonight that he's going to be on the show on the 8th. And the 11th, we have Bobby Holman and Cody Holman, the Beast Monster Truck, 40 years in the business. This is their 40th year anniversary. Bobby is a great friend of mine. I've done many a show with him. And Cody also. I've done a lot of shows with Cody too. So I look forward to them. And then on the 29th, we have J.R. Adams from Bigfoot. He's going to be on the show. So we're starting to fill March up already. Hopefully I can get March taken care of and out of the books, ready to go here maybe sometime this week or next week, and get them all filled up and stuff. You guys are looking for stickers? We've got them. We've got sticker packs out now. You can buy the sticker packs if you're interested in getting some stickers from Pedal to the Metal. We have called the guy that was making our stickers, the new sticker, and told him just to forget about it. We can't wait no longer. And, he assured that he'd have it and stuff. And I just told him, I said, no, we're not interested in doing business. So anyway, he's out. So I got to find a new person to do the new sticker that we got out, Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music. But with the sticker pack that we have available right now, you still get the little Pedal to the Metal sticker. You get a Rollin' with Roller and Derek sticker. Once these are done, they're done. They won't be made no more. And that's the same way with the old Pedal to the Metal. Once they're done, we won't make those anymore. We have another Rollin' with Roller and Derek sticker right here. It's a V8 motor. We have that one. Then we have a old school. No, here's the bigger, larger Pedal to the Metal sticker. We have that. And then we have an old Hot Rod Rolling with Roller and Derek sticker right there. And those will be in your sticker pack. And if you're looking to get one, sticker packs are $5. And all you have to do is email me at jeffrichards327@gmail.com. That's jeffrichards327@gmail.com. And we'll send you a sticker pack and tell you how to pay for it and stuff like that. The website, I talked to the web designer today, and the website is going to be done on Sunday. So we'll make an official launch on the website on Sunday, and you'll be able to go to the website and you'll be able to go right to the clothing line. You'll be able to watch old episodes of the show. You'll be able to do just about everything that you need to do, including book yourself on a show. Now, just because you fill out the form and stuff doesn't mean that you're guaranteed a book. What I'll do is I'll read all those, and then I will call you back and we will set a date, but you'll be able to do that all on the website. So basically, I've taken everything that you had to write all these different email addresses down and do everything else, and I have made it simple for you guys. All you got to do is go to the website, you click on it, and you can do everything right there, okay? So now, next guy up here is Jesse Scott. Jesse Scott has Jesse Scott's Crafts and Creation Studio. He is a big-time guy of Pedal to the Metal Motors and Music, and he makes the three-dimensional spark plug light, and also he makes the logo of Pedal to the Metal. And what's going to happen is when we get the new logo, we're going to have him make the new one with Motors and Music, and when we get the new one, we're going to raffle. We're going to give away the old Pedal to the Metal with your host Roller sign, and somebody's going to get that one. And then also, I talked to Lee Plato the other day, a little short conversation, and Lee has told us to re-gift the Monster Truck Radio shirt. He said, I would rather have you guys go ahead and give it to somebody that's a big fan. And he said, I'm not saying that I'm not one of your fans, but he said, let's go ahead and, hello, Scott, how you doing, buddy? But he said, let's go ahead and, yes, I will, for sure. Walker, I'll make sure that I send that to you. In fact, let me write your information down here, and I will text you that information here. Let's see here. I do believe I still have your information in my phone, but it's good to always update it if not. Walker, I will send that out to you. As soon as I get, probably be out there to you tomorrow. I'll give you all that information and stuff. So thank you very much for tuning in. But anyway, we'll be giving away the Monster Truck Radio shirt again. And that's courtesy of Lee and Shane Plato. And we will be giving away the Pedal to the Metal podcast with your host Roller sign that lights up. It's a light, and it lights up as soon as we get the new one to replace it. So that'll be going to some lucky fan, and be kind of like an archives one. You know, you can mark it in the history books. But getting back to Jesse Scott, his email address is www.jessescott.com. His phone number is 715-721-5999. That's 751-721-5999. Or you can find him on Facebook under Jesse Scott's Crafts and Creations. Guys, he's amazing at what he can do. Check out his website, and you guys can order some stuff that he builds and makes and stuff. If you live in the Colorado area, and I'm talking Denver, surrounding areas like that, and you have a busted windshield, busted side glass, or something that mirror, or anything like that, give my buddy Art a call at Arch Auto Glass. He has a mobile service, and he will come to your business, your home, the park, wherever you are, and he'll replace that windshield right there. And if you mention Pedal to the Metal Motors and Music, you get 10% off on installation, and that's a big deal, man. That's a big deal anymore. Any kind of money you can get off on car parts anymore is huge. So Art is willing to work with you, and he does a great job. He's very clean. When he's done, your vehicle vehicle looks brand new. So he'll take care of you. That's Arch Auto Glass. Arch's phone number is 720-296-8635. That's 720-296-8635. Mention our show, and you get 10% off on the installation. Guys, it's it's definitely car show season coming up right around the corner, and if you're looking to take that display of yours and taking it to the next level, the only thing I can tell you that helped mine was a metal show board or a metal print. And I was in the magazine on C10 America magazine, and this is my metal print that I got, and this is the article of my truck. And this was the exact article in the magazine. But you guys can't get this kind of design because the fact is this is for the people in the magazine only. But Rich will make you a metal print or a metal show board, and the metal prints come in 11 by 14, 16 by 20, and a 20 by 30. And if you want a metal show board, they come in a 20 by 30. And I'm telling you what, he's getting to be really popular out there. These things are selling like hotcakes, and unfortunately, there is a waiting line right now for you to get in. So I suggest that you get in right now if you're looking to get a new show board or a metal print made for your car display. And this one here is made of metal. It's going to last for a long time. They're very durable. They won't chip. They won't crack. They won't fade in the sun. They won't warp because the sun beats down on them, or they won't disintegrate like the cardboard ones do that everybody used to make and stuff like that. So get in line. All you got to do is go ahead and text Rich at Texas, or email him at texasrich@c10americamagazine.com. That's texasrich@c10americamagazine.com, and he will tell you the pricing and everything on the metal prints. Guys, he's got some great deals out there and stuff, and all you got to do is just get a hold of him. Once again, that's texasrich@c10americamagazine.com, and get yourself a metal print or a metal show board. And remember, the show boards only come in 20 by 30, but they're durable, man, and it really has helped my display for sure. I promise you that. It really has. So the motorhome is still happening. We're still getting the motorhome ready to go get wrapped and stuff. We have some sponsorships. So what this is going to be, it's going to be just a mobile billboard for your business. Hello, cuz. How you doing? This is going to be a mobile billboard for your business. And on my motorhome, and the bottom doors, I have 11 doors that are going to be for offer. And you're going to be able to put your company's logo there, and then there's going to be a QR code. People are going to be able to take a picture of that, and they're going to be able to go right to your site, and it'll take them right there, and it'll tell them all about you, or whatever your site tells them about you is what they're going to see. And there's two different packages, and that's the basic sponsorship on the doors. Okay, there's 11 of them. After the 11 are done, the basic is filled up for the year. Now, these sponsorships are based on a year's sponsorship, and they're not expensive at all, guys. You get your company logo displayed on the side of the motorhome, along with a QR code directing customers to your business. On-air mentions on our worldwide podcast, Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music, airing Sundays and Wednesdays. Distribution of any handouts, promotional materials provided by you, and we'll hand those out at a car show for free. We're not going to hand them all out at one car show. We're going to hand out a few, and then we'll hand out a few more at another one, and we'll try to spread them out throughout the whole year to where we're handing some of your stuff out throughout the whole year to every car show we go to, because we're going to be running up and down I-25, I-70, going to different car shows, and we're talking about big car shows. We're talking about like the big one, July 11th, with the folks from Night Owls Car Club. It's going to be big, and it's going to be a good show. There are going to be a lot of people there, and so your business is going to be seen. And then you get one guest spot twice a year on the Worldwide Podcast, and the opportunity to talk live about your business to our audience. So that is the basic sponsorship, and that's $1,000 per year. Do the math. It's less than $1,000. It's less than $100 a month. Okay, so just that's probably the one that'll sell out the most, and it goes that fast. It'll go really fast. Now, there's a gold sponsorship, and that's prime placement on the motorhome. That's up above the doors, the luggage compartment doors. That's up on the side of the motorhome where people will really see them and stuff like that. You get a prime location, and you get a logo and a QR code placement. Your company logo and QR code will be placed in a highly visible prime location on the motorhome. Commercial spot production. A professional commercial will be created about your business and aired twice a week on each of our shows every Sunday and Wednesday. Quarterly guest spots with guest appearances per quarter on our show. Talk live about your business and engage with our audience. Event handouts. Once again, you provide the promotional handouts. We'll hand them out throughout the year to different shows that we go to. Guest appearances at the car show gives you an opportunity to ride with us to a show, and then when we're at that show and we're doing our live remotes and stuff at the show, you'll be able to talk to people that come by and check out the motorhome and stuff, and check out the cars that we have parked in front of the motorhome and different things. You'll be able to talk to them about your business, and then also we'll be doing opportunities for you or your company spokesman to appear in person on our show, and we'll be doing that once a quarter for you guys. So you get to go 4 times a year live right here on Pedal to the Metal Motors and Music, and that one is $2,400. So you're looking at $200 a month, guys, and that's really cheap advertising. So, and there's only going to be 5 or 6 of those placements. I really have to check the motorhome first. It could be 4 or 5 placements for those logos in that gold package sponsorship. So we've got a lot of things happening. March is already filled up. I told you who's going to be on the rest of the month. Man, it's just, hello, Sarah. How are you today? Glad to see you on there. There's Barb. How are you, Barb? My cousin Debbie's on here. And, man, I'm just blessed to have you guys on here. Tonight's show is going to be amazing. Craig Gould, he is the auction guru of online auctions, and this auction that he's going to be putting on is going to be an amazing, amazing auction. So let's go ahead and give him a call right now and get him on the show and see if we can talk to him and see if he's ready here. So let's go here. And we'll see if I think it's going to work. Yes, it is. It's going to work.
Donald Trump.
Oh, gracious leader, how are you today?
Well, I'm fine. I'm like the bestest fine that could ever be fine today fine.
I'm sitting there, and I started a little earlier so I could get all my promotions and stuff out of the way. And I thought, well, I'm going to go through this pretty fast, and I'll be able to maybe play one song. And then I looked down, and it's 6:03, and I was like, well, it's time to call Craig, and that's all there is to it. So,
absolutely.
How you been, my friend? Good talking to you. Everything's going good?
Well, everything's going good up here. Absolutely, it is.
Well, I'll tell you what. I don't know if Scott's going to make it on tonight or not. He's still flying, and depending on these winds and stuff, when he got out today, he's flying down to Houston. So he said he might join us and he might not. So we'll see what happens in that. So what we're basically here to do is talk to Craig about his online auction group called the Classic Car Auction Group. You can reach them at www.classiccarauction.us. And I'll tell you what, guys, if you're looking for the most simplest way to consign or buy a classic car, and you can do it right in the comfort of your own home. And I said that, right in the comfort of your own home. If you have one to sell, all you got to do is go out and take some pictures and send them pictures to Craig and fill out the form, and you don't have to take your car to him. You don't have to do nothing. And even when it sells, and like I said, even when it sells, you don't even have to deliver the car. The buyer is responsible to come and pick up the car at your place. Now, what else can you be offering from that? Just be able to buy cars, sell cars from the comfort of your own office, man. What a great concept, Craig. What a great concept.
the auction world, the classic car auction world, really got flipped on its head during good old COVID.
It did.
10, 15 years, a long time ago, a guy came to me and said, what you ought to do, you ought to allow people just to sell cars from their garage without even having to move them. And I looked at him and I said, people really want to touch and feel and see and crawl underneath. They really want to look these cars over. I don't think that'll work. Little did I know how how advanced thinking he was, because here we are all these years later. And again, so prior to COVID, cars that sold at auction, the reality is most cars do change hands in a private transaction. Me sell a car to you, you buy the car from me, whatever the case is. That's where most of the transactions still occur.
That's
but
true.
For those that sell at auction, prior to COVID, the majority of cars sold at live auctions.
That's true.
After COVID, that switched. Oddly enough, shortly during COVID, that number, that balance really started to shift to where now, and this was as of a couple of years ago, there were slightly more cars sold in online formats than what were sold at live auctions.
It's smart. It's a great idea.
It's an interesting, yeah.
It allows people that are in Maine to sell a car at an auction that's in Montana, and they don't have to do nothing. And it's just all they got to do is take a few pictures. Am I correct?
Yeah, what we have found, what we really stress is to the sellers is present the car as you would want to see it if you were considered buying it sight unseen.
Right.
So really what we need, we need lots of pictures. We've got some cars on our website right now that have 70, 80, 90 pictures of them. We've got some that have 10 or 15 pictures. I always stress that, again, just go back to what I said. If you were to buy a car online, sight unseen, what kinds of pictures would you want?
That's right. That is.
Yeah. So and actually, even from there, it's there's a little bit that goes into selling your car online. I mean, yes, it is easy. Point and click your camera, take a few pictures, send me some description, get it on. First off, make sure your title matches your VIN on the car.
Yep.
Make sure there's no issues or challenges there. Assess your car. Truly assess your car, and see what you have and see what you don't have. Look at the background of it and think about the history. Think about any of the story that you can tell on the car. Oftentimes, and you cars. I mean, I talked with you about your truck quite a bit.
Yep.
The neat part to your truck, there are lots of trucks out across the country, right?
Yeah.
But none of them have the story that yours does.
Right.
And oftentimes, that's half the fun.
It is
knowing what the background was. We sold a car for a gentleman. He went to prom with his wife in that car back in the 50s.
How cool is that?
And you hear some of the stories. There's the traders out there. They get a car. They move it along. They move it from one place to the next place, and those are the traders. The collectors are the ones that love the backstory on the cars.
It is the truth.
So I always recommend, again, assess that car. Think about it from the point of what somebody wants to know. What does the motor have? How original is it? Do the numbers match? And just because somebody tells you that the numbers match, don't rely on that. We had a guy, and I assessed a car one time for a guy. He bought it from his grandfather, and it was a Pontiac GTO convertible. Neat car. And he bought it. This kid bought it as a judge. It was a GTO judge. His grandfather just swore up and down that it was a judge. And I got to looking at it, and I said, well, I'm just going to run the numbers a little bit. And the grandfather said, yeah, numbers matching, original. Yeah, everything's original on this car. Man, after I got done with the researching of the engine, the block numbers, I had to tell the guy, I said, hey, I'm sorry to tell you this, but that car is not numbers matching. It is not a true judge. It's a neat car, but it's not what you're presenting. And he called me a few names.
Sure.
And then he talked to his grandfather. And lo and behold, his grandfather sold him a bill of goods that wasn't exactly.
Oh my God! Grandpa was trying to pull the wool over his grandson's eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a heck of a grandfather! I'm glad I don't have one like that.
Exactly. And Craig, and you know it as well as I do because we both have been in the auction business so long that numbers matching, records, books, anything that you can put with that car to tie it to that car is so important, and it helps that car sell so much better and brings so much more money.
It does, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you can't create something that isn't, right?
That's true.
And if from my standpoint, in my experience, even taking that a little bit further, I had an experience where guy called me up, said, hey, I've got this Charger, it's numbers matching, everything is great. I said, okay, perfect. And I advertised it as numbers matching, and we got the car sold. And this was where I learned that not everybody understands what matching numbers means.
Yep.
He had a completely different idea what numbers matching was. He said, well, I thought numbers matching meant that the VIN on the windshield tag, that if it was the same on the body, on the frame or wherever, that was numbers matching.
No.
Not quite.
No.
It's got to have that engine number. So,
Yep.
So, the background story on the car is extremely important. Presenting the car accurately is important. Don't tell me that the car is rust free if you haven't actually looked underneath and picked up the carpet underneath the driver's side or picked up the carpet in the trunk. I mean, really assess this car and present the car fairly. And you've been in car business a long time, car auctions for a long time. People can be as honest as the day is long until it comes to their car.
Boy, it's the truth. You said a mouthful right there.
It's a high dollar commodity, right? It's
Yep.
there's a few dollars tied into this asset, and the chicanery people have pulled on me over the years, I've gotten a little bit hardened to it. I just got to assess a whole lot more car.
Well,
Because what I was going to say was, I mean, I as an auction company, our rules say you're buying as is. What you buy is what you get. Man, I just can't do that to somebody. We sold a car at our last auction, and it was a convertible, and presented as a convertible. It was a great beautiful car. It had a lot of eyeballs. But lo and behold, it was two cars put together into one. The lower half was a two-door hardtop. The upper half was a convertible.
oh my God.
So missing on the frames, and unfortunately, we didn't have pictures of the frame. On those 50s, on those 60s cars, the GM products, the Chevrolet, the convertibles had an extra, support rail along the frame.
Right.
And again, I wish I knew everything when I was born, but I just don't. You learn everything, and you just kind of put it in the memory bank.
Yeah.
But I worked with the seller and the buyer, and we kept it together. But the seller had to give up a little bit. I gave up a little bit, and we kept the thing together. So,
Right.
just present your car accurately, honestly, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We want it all.
Yeah, and I guess the very easiest way to say it is you try to find out as much as you can as an auction company about that vehicle, but the buyer and the seller are still responsible for checking the car out. They need to do their homework. The seller needs to know exactly what he has to sell, and the buyer needs to know exactly what he's buying. And if you could get them together to do that, it would be such a better world, because like you said, we don't know everything, and we will never know everything. There's only a very few handfuls of people in this world that would know everything about all the cars, and
Right.
That's just the way it is. So that's what I like about them, guys, is because even I have a little motorcycle. They have a motorcycle sale coming up soon, and when I was taking pictures of my motorcycle, Craig said, you have such a rare piece because there's a lot of them, but it's so original. I want you to take pictures of the cables, the brake cables, and different things like that. And that's what you got to show these people, that this stuff is all original. This is exactly how I've had it forever, and just do your homework. So, I think it's a great platform. Don't get me wrong. I really, really do, because the internet has taken over. The internet has taken over the world of auctions, whether it's online cars or we're selling pictures or widgets or whatever it happens to be. And it just, a better representation helps everybody in the long run.
Yeah, and so this auction, online auctions can even take a couple of formats, and let me just back up a little bit. So this will be our 7th annual, call it the Intermountain Online Classic Car Auction,
right? And
so we take ours a step further. Most of the online auctions, you're just clicking against a clock. The auction listing on this car is going to end at 6:43 p.m. on this date, and get your bids in before then, or else you lose it.
Yeah.
We take it a step further, that we combine the fun of a live auction with the convenience of the internet. So instead of just clicking against a clock, we get our good friend and buddy Scott up on the auction block with a camera in front of him, and you put a microphone in Scott's hand and you put a camera in front of him, you never know what's going to happen or come out. But
it's a gamble. It's a gamble that we all take. I'll guarantee you that.
It's a gamble. We're willing to take it because it can be a lot of fun.
It really can. You're so right,
yeah.
buddy. You are so right. But what 7th annual, man? What is that? How does that make you feel?
It's I'm thankful to wake up every day and do what I do, because it's just so dang much fun.
Right.
And I try not to be cliche or the old adages, but truly it's not work. It's just fun. I get to play cars with lots of people's cars, and I get to hear the stories. I get to work with people individually.
Yeah.
Just before we got on, and I want to thank you for this opportunity. I really do.
Every time we have one, you're welcome on here, man. Always.
Awesome. But just before we got on the phone, I was working with a woman. She's actually down in Texas, out in extreme northeast Texas. And her husband passed away last year, it was, I think, and he had bought this I think it's a 46 or 47 DeSoto, and loved it, enjoyed it. From what we can tell, it has about 40,000 original miles on this car.
Wow.
And I was working with the pictures. We were going to sell it last fall at the auction, but she didn't have all the title work squared away. So I said, well, I'll tell you what, we'll work towards March. And we got back on the horn. And so I'll be adding this car. I'm up in Billings, Montana, way up north. It's going to be really cold here tonight. She's down in like I said, northeast Texas, in the eastern, good old East Texas.
Yeah.
And we're going to list her car and work to get it sold. And lo and behold, the husband had another car packed away somewhere, and we may be selling that car as well.
That's cool.
When I was driving home yesterday, and I came across a '57 Cadillac Eldorado Barritz convertible.
Oh my God!
And this car is
such
an
beautiful iconic car.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and it's the exact same deal. This woman, her husband passed away. He had about 4 or 5 cars. This is one of them, and I'm hoping to get the honor. I really do think of it as an honor. That sounds corny.
No, it's not.
But I hope I get the honor to work with her, and work with her on an incredible car like that, and then as she's working through and preparing to deal with the loss of her husband and move his collection on,
right,
to be able to work with her on the other cars as well.
Well, that's good. And before I called you, I had a real good friend of mine on here, and his name is Walker, and I am going to be texting you his phone number because awesome. Walker is a big buyer. He sells a lot of stuff at Barrett Jackson. He sells a lot of stuff at Mecum and stuff like that. And he wanted me to send him your information, and I'm going to give him yours. And I want you to give him a call, because there's a good possibility that this man has a car that maybe he'll put in your sale, man. And I mean, these cars are not. These are not joke cars. These are nice automobile. He is the king of the old Bronco. He loves the old Broncos.
Really?
And this man is what I'm giving you is a very, very good contact to be able to keep in your Rolodex of numbers, because this man will be online and he will do what he says. He's a very honorable man, and and his money's really good too, so you ain't don't have to worry about that. I'll guarantee you that.
That's great. Yeah, so yeah.
I'll text you that information. But I'm here looking at the website right now, and that's another thing we've done. We've added since the last time we talked. We only had one screen. Now we got 2 monitors here, so I'm able to pull the official website up as we talk. And I'm looking right here, and your 48 Willys Jeepster looks like a great little truck, great little Jeep.
Yeah, so that was an interesting one. So I talked with the gentleman. I'm not sure how old he is, but he's involved with an automotive museum down in the southern part of New Mexico, Las Cruces area.
Uh-huh.
And he called out of the blue one day, and he's got this car, and he used to live up in Alaska.
Uh-huh.
And he described this car accurately. He said, this car has been kind of Alaskanized. And I said, what do you mean by that? He said, well, it's put together in some creative fashions. So
it makes you wonder,
Yeah, but that Jeep was owned by a county assessor up in Alaska,
uh-huh.
He used that Jeep to drive around to all of the properties that he had to assess. And he said, you got to realize sometimes there aren't really great roads out to these places.
True.
So he said this Jeep, not only a testament to it because it held up all those years, and it had some restoration work done on it, but so anyway, that car, and actually that gentleman called the other day and he said, I need to move this car along. Let's just sell it, no reserve.
Oh wow!
So he'll be selling that little Jeep, no reserve.
That's perfect, man.
Yeah.
Now, this sale that we're talking about right now is on Saturday, March 28th, guys. Mark that on your calendar, Saturday, March 28th. And pre-bidding starts when, Craig?
So we open pre-bidding March 21, and pre-bidding is that period where you're able to just click on your phone or your computer or tablet or whatever the case is, and place some bids on the car, kind of see what activity is on it, see how it's doing, what kind of price range it's going in. So that's that pre-bidding period. Starts out real slow in the early part of the week, and then it starts to build, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday morning. Continue, and then Saturday morning 9:30, the pre-bidding ends, and basically those pre-bids are then set there. But then at 10 o'clock, we open up the live webcast, and that's when the real auction it continues. I would say the real auction, from the standpoint of a live auctioneer and watching the fun, begins at 10 o'clock. Working on each car individually. So we're putting them on the virtual auction block, I call it, and we work to sell each car individually, just as if it was driving across the stage right in front of you.
And you start the car off where the highest pre-bid is, correct?
We typically do, yeah.
Okay.
It on the car, if a car has a value of $50,000, but it got onto the auction site late and few people know it's there, and it's only bid to $500, we're not going to start that car at $500. Yeah, but by and large, I mean, and you can recall at that last auction, a lot of the cars, I turn to Scott and say, "Hey, we got a pre-bid of $10,000. We're not backing up from there," and away Scott would go. So,
yeah, exactly. And it's just if you get online, ladies and gentlemen, and you're watching your car live on the auction, you can interact with the auctioneer and tell him, I got to have a little more or sell it. In fact, I was one of the ones that was like, "No, Scott, you can't sell it. I got to have more." And he's like, "Come on, roller, come on, sell that damn bike." And I mean, hey, we all got to have we all got to have a number that we have to get to, or what we think our stuff's worth, and we respect that in the auction business, But sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Correct?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So to even back up a little bit, so the consignment fee, the cost structure of selling your car online with our auction, I think, is incredible, because $100 consignment fee enters your vehicle in the auction. So over the years we've been doing business, we built up an incredible email list and a distribution list and a mailing list. And our website, you'll notice our website is new for this sale. And so we're marketing not only the auction nationwide, but we're promoting each individual car out across the country. We have ad programs on Auto Trader Classics and ClassicCars.com and Hemmings. We pull some ads out in Hemmings and Old Cars Weekly. So again, we're working to promote those cars out across the country.
Yeah.
And you can set a reserve price on the car. And I would say too, everybody has an expectation of what their vehicle is worth. And sometimes it's because they watched they've heard, or their brother-in-law knows, or whatever, of the car that sold for ungodly amounts of money.
Exactly.
And we've got to work in reality. Number one, let's take a look at that car that sold for ungodly amounts of money. What was it? When was it? Where was it? Did it actually happen?
Sure.
So we'll work with consigners to make sure that the reserve is appropriate. A lot of times cars that sell for those big high dollars, they're the one or two or three cars out there that really exist in that condition. Most of the cars don't fall into that category.
Yeah.
So let's realistically assess your vehicle, and let's put an appropriate price on it, because you don't want to have just a car show. You don't want to just present your car out so people can look at it. You're putting it on the market to get it sold.
Yep, that's the truth. That is the truth.
Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, too, as an auctioneer myself, I can tell you verbatim, and I know Scott, if he was on here, he would testify to it. As an auctioneer, we want to go over your protection price. They're not going to get, just if you want, we're just going to use numbers. You want 12.5 for your car. And at 12.5, we're not going to say, so 12.5. If we can make it big, bring 15.5, that is something that we feed off of. That is something that it feeds our ego, okay? And we can say that's bragging rights. Hey, I made a 1950 Chevrolet Deluxe that was just a basic car. I made it do $15,000, and the owner wanted 11 for it. That is something that feeds our ego, and it's bragging rights in the world of being an auctioneer. And it's not. We're not going to stop. It's just not going to stop. And Craig's not going to let it stop either. They're gonna tell you, we have made the reserve, we're going to sell the car, but Scott's not going to just drop the hammer and sell the car. He's going to try to get you every penny you make, because the more money you make, the more the auction company makes, okay? And that's just the truth of it. There's not no black and white, smoke and mirrors, hiding kind of deal. Unless you have come to some kind of an agreement with Craig, it's just true facts. And you just need to realize that we're not going to just quit. We're not going to quit as an auctioneer because we're not made that way. We're just not made that way, man. Not at all.
Yep, that's right. That's right. So that consignment fee is $100. You can put a reserve price on the car, and then it's an 8% commission if we sell the car. If it either meets or exceeds the reserve, or you accept the last bid price. Right. So it's and if the car doesn't sell, let's say we don't get it across the finish line and the car doesn't sell, the only investment in this is that $100, and we'll figure out the next shot. All right, so what did we miss? Did we not have the right pictures? Was our reserve off? Right. Was it just not a good year for VW bugs? Right. Whatever the case is. It's so it's an affordable way to present that car out to market without the trials and tribulations of getting your car to a live auction somewhere. If I was to be honest, Roller, and in all of our dealings we've been honest. I've had a number of people tell me, I saw that car sell for a little bit more down at Barrett-Jackson. Right. I said, yeah, that's probably true, but you know what? You didn't spend $2,000 getting it down there. Yeah. You didn't spend the $750 to get it in a primetime showing. You didn't have to go down there and be subject to the extreme price inflation that occurs in the hotels and the restaurants and everything during auction week. So, and I've had some sellers tell me, he said, I probably brought the same amount of money home through your auction than if I'd have taken it down to Barrett-Jackson or something like that. And I'm not knocking Barrett-Jackson. No. They're a phenomenal, that's a machine. Mika, they're machines. I mean, they do great work. They do great work, but not everybody is a Barrett-Jackson or a Mecum seller or buyer. No, that's the truth. And not everybody wants to be one because they just don't have that kind of money. But, I'm looking here at lot number 10. And this is a good project car. This is a 1950 deluxe style Chevrolet, and it's on a trailer. So that must mean that it's it's a roller. It doesn't have a motor or anything in it. Maybe it does. I don't know. But it looks like it's been tubbed, and it's sitting in primer. So it looks like a lot of the work's done, and this is a great project car, and it'll be a cool hot rod when it's done. So that car is an interesting car. Someone invested an incredible amount of money. The car does run. I heard it run. I had to get my ears. No, it's not a roller. I had to get my ears fixed after it because that car is meant to go in a straight line really fast. So you know how loud the darn thing is. Sure. But it needs some attention. It needs some love. It's owned by a gentleman who that's not his thing. He bought the car, and everybody has great visions when they buy a car. Sure. Sometimes those visions are realistic, and sometimes they aren't. Well, you said a mouthful. But So the majority of the cars in the auction are going to be good, solid cars. There will be a few times that we'll have, project type cars like this. I mean, every car has a worth. We're probably not going to add a 95 Corvette with 180,000 miles on it. That's not the car. That's not the kind of car we want to sell.
Right.
Give me good, solid collector, classic type cars. That's what's worked well in our auctions before. But so if you take a look at that Chevrolet, and myself and my assistant went and we got the pictures on that car. I mean, I told my assistant, I said, look, we're crawling underneath that. We're going to throw so many pictures of it so that somebody has a real true idea just what they're buying.
Right. Well, see, just looking at this car right now, and without going in and looking at all the pictures, I just looked at it on the trailer. I would have thought it was just a roller. I would have just thought there was no motor, no transmission, and this was a project that somebody got tired of working on. And here I learned completely different. So those pictures are so important, and that tells the story, man. It really helps sell the car.
Yep. And actually, I'm a little embarrassed because that reminds me. I've got a whole write-up. I've got all the notes and everything from when we met with the gentleman.
Uh-huh.
I've got to get that added to the listing. So you kind of busted me there. I haven't done my job yet.
I'm not trying to bust you. It's just I didn't go into the. I'm just looking at the very physical picture on the website, and that's it. I didn't go in to see any other pictures.
Yeah.
I didn't look at any stories. I just assumed. I assumed wrong.
Yeah, no, I'm busting myself because I do need to add that to my to-do list because I gotta get that done.
Right.
But,
and the thing is that I'm looking at some other cars here. 2014 Cadillac CTS 4, a great car if you're looking for just a car that you need for the weekend or to drive to and from work or what for the wife to drive, and a very dependable car. What a beautiful automobile. And once again, I didn't go in and look at any of the options or anything else on it. All I know is that it's a 2014 CTS, and it's just, from what I know about the Cadillacs, that's a nice car, man. That's a beautiful car. Got great lines, great body style, everything.
You want to know the best thing to that car?
What's that?
It's only got 8,000 miles.
Oh, perfect. I mean, that car will last you a lifetime if you take care of it.
Oh, it will. It will. And you'd have a heck of a fun time driving that thing.
And, you ain't going to pay the brand new prices. And God forbid, the prices that these people have to pay for new cars nowadays. You get a 2014 model with 8,000 miles that still is brand new. Probably smells brand new inside.
Yep. And gentleman's mother owned that. She passed away. Actually, so this was interesting. It sounds like quite the woman. So she owned this Cadillac CTS, and she lived here in Billings, and I think she had a place down in Arizona.
Uh-huh.
And she loved the Cadillac that she had up in Billings so much, and she'd drive it back and forth. And she lamented putting the miles on it. So her son convinced her, well, just buy one and keep it down in Arizona. So she did. Well. The other car that's hers, or that was hers, that's in the auction, is that, take a look at that 88 Toyota Extra Cab pickup truck 4x4.
Let me take a look here. Let me scroll here. Okay, 88 Extra Cab 4x4 pickup, color black, cylinders 6. Looks like a very beautiful little truck, and a very desirable truck. That body style is so popular.
It is. That is an unrestored, unmolested, all original pickup truck.
Wow.
It's got 140,000 miles on it, which anybody who knows those Toyotas back in the day, I was amazed thinking back to those days. Let's juxtapose. God, that's a big word for Wednesday evening.
You used your big word of the calendar day there, buddy.
Big calendar. But let's juxtapose a Chevy Chevette from 1988, and that Toyota.
Right.
If you had 146,000 miles on a Chevy Chevette, that was unheard of.
Right? You'd be putting it in the ground unless it was. I don't know how it would last that long. I don't think the Chevette was built to last that long. It was a throwaway car.
It was a throwaway car.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the Toyotas, I mean, I'm not sure they had a throwaway car back in the day.
No.
But if you look at the seats in that, and they're all original, I am fascinated at some of those old Toyotas like that were used. 146,000 miles is a lot of miles. I'm not going to hide anything, but I've seen 300,000 on those motors,
Right.
And those seats look like they all look great.
And
So anyway, that's the neat part to the sale is that there is a mixture of everything in this upcoming auction, and we're still early in the consignment game.
Sure you are.
I'm working with this gentleman, with his mother down in Texas on this DeSoto. I talked with a guy the other day, and he finally committed. He's going to put in, and I gotta find it again here. Give me 1 second. It is so he's looking at putting in a 1948 four-wheel drive dump truck with 1,000 original mile. 11,000 original miles on it.
My goodness.
He's also putting in a 1952 Tucker 443 Snowcat. One of the neatest things I've ever seen. If you think about the movie Cars, and you think of the tractors and that front end of the tractor, and then you throw a cab on this, and you got 4 big tracks that you're driving along. Just cool as heck. They only made about a dozen, maybe 15 to 20 of these Snowcats, and we're going to have one in the upcoming auction.
How cool is that?
Yeah. And then you take a look at that red 1980 Pontiac Firebird.
I'm looking at it right now.
Okay, beautiful, gorgeous car.
Snowflake wheels.
100% original.
Yeah.
Bought new by the seller.
And a T-top car too, correct?
Yeah, yep. Bought it for his wife.
Wow.
And his wife just absolutely loved it. It's got 58,000 original miles on it.
Turbo.
Yeah. But
that's a beautiful car.
I got to tell you, one of the funnest things about what I get to do, is to see what rolls out of people's garages.
Well,
from
isn't
time
that
to
the
time.
truth? Yes, guaranteed.
You see them, and again, I get the fortunate pleasure of being able to hear the backstories on them, and just getting to know the cars, and that's why I like to be up on the auction block, giving the presentation on the vehicles with Scott, because oftentimes I've talked to these sellers and I kind of know the backstory, and can throw in as much as I can on them.
Right. My cousin's on here, Debbie. Debbie, it's www.classiccarauction, not auctions. I've made that mistake before. classiccarauction.us.
That's correct.
So you can get a hold of Craig. Do you mind if I give out your cell phone number so they can call you?
Please do. Yeah, okay, it's on the website,
okay,
so feel free
to. It's 406-698-7930. That's 406-698-7930. And once again, the website is www.classiccarauction.us. So if you guys are looking, you can watch the sale. You can see these guys in action. I still want to come up and work one of them with you, man. I just would love to. But I'm even looking at, it's not a Bandit Trans Am, but it's a black and gold Trans Am, a 79 model. And it looks like really a beautiful car. And these cars are... These cars are in high demand right now. The Trans Am seems like it's caught on more in the last 4 or 5 years than it has ever. Am I correct in saying that?
You are. When you think about it, and I don't know exactly how old you are, but I'm thinking you and I are pretty close to the same age. And these were the cars that were cool back in high school, right? Back in, Yeah. So as you and I and others, or as anybody gets to a point where they have some disposable income. Their kids are done with school, they're out, they're on their own, braces aren't needed every week or whatever the case is. Sometimes we kind of like to get back to to what we had when we were younger, and
So true.
what we pined for when we were younger.
Yes, sir.
And so this second generation, late second generation of the Camaro and the Trans Ams are coming on strong.
Yes.
They're coming on strong. Yeah. So that Trans Am, that was actually down in Colorado. That Firebird is up here. The black Trans Am is in Colorado. That Firebird is right here in Billings, Montana. If you look a little later in the sale, take a look at the two first-gen Camaro and the first-gen Pontiac.
Now, let's see. I see a 68 Pontiac. That wouldn't be your first gen. Because 67 is the first year of the Firebird, and also the
first
Camaro.
Generation,
but it is a first gen, the first body style.
Yeah, right, exactly,
okay,
exactly. Yeah,
and that's a copper colored car. The Pontiac is a copper colored 400. Wow.
Yep. Beautiful car. So that's those two cars, the Camaro and the Pontiac, are owned by the same individual.
Wow.
He's a dentist up in Northeast Montana, and he's just he restored both of these, and he's moving on from them. As he says, I'm just going to move them on. So he's putting them both in auction. He was going to sell them as a pair. He said, "Let's sell them as a pair." You know, and I had to convince him. I said, "The reality is, the Camaro will always outstrip the Firebird.
It does, and I don't know why, but it does. Yeah."
It's got the bow tie, and it is what it is. So anyway, we got them to separate out the lots. So we're going to sell each one individually, and away we go. But those are gorgeous cars. Then you take a look at
now. Before we go on to the next one, the Pontiac Firebird, does that have the tack on the hood? Does it look? I'm looking at it, but I can't. Let me. If I
don't have it in front of me, so Edie, my assistant, actually went up and took
it does not. No, it doesn't. But it does have the ram air hood on it. Yeah, I mean, it's got the air injection. That's a cool car, man. That's a real. And the Firebird had a good front end on it. I liked the Firebird. It was a good looking car, man. But I just happen to like the Chevy better. So what else? What else? What are you talking about now?
So the other. So there's that 32 Ford. That's kind of a hot rod. Yep.
Wide whites.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a neat car. That's out of northern Colorado. And then there's that 56 Chevy 210 handyman wagon custom.
Yes, I've seen that. Turquoise and white.
Yep. That car is built to drive across country in and just have a lot of fun.
Right. And you even have a 55 210 two-door, which
That's
is
right.
nice. So you got good representation of the Tri-5s right there. All you need is a 57, and you got a complete representation of the Tri-5 cars, man. And that 55 looks good. Looks really good.
Yeah, that one's a neat looking car. Creamsicle is what that one is nicknamed. I'm actually I'm trying to do some promotion down in the Tampa Bay area. Think about the throwback to uniforms of Tampa Bay. That's exactly what that car is. Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, if you're listening to this podcast, you should own this car, buddy.
Wow, that is awesome, man. Those are great looking cars. And the 32 is such an iconic car. I mean, that car right there is in a high demand. It really is. That's a beautiful little roadster right there, guaranteed.
Yeah. But some that are going to be added. I mentioned to you the Snowcat and this other one, and then this DeSoto. So if I say the name Beaumont to you, do you know what that is?
Beaumont, Texas?
Well, no, Beaumont. It's a car.
Boy, Craig, you've stumped me on that one. No.
So I learned this just the other day. So north of the border, our good friends up in Canada.
Okay.
Oftentimes, and if you think about, have you ever seen a Mercury pickup truck?
I've heard of them. Never seen one. I've heard of them though.
One of the new. Yeah, I just love seeing it. I've seen a couple of them, and it's just so odd to walk around and you look at the tailgate and it says Mercury on it, but Chevrolet, north of the border, marketed the Chevelle as a Beaumont.
Really?
And if you look at this car, you think it's a Chevy Chevelle, a 69 Chevy Chevelle, because that's exactly what it looks like.
Uh-huh.
But when you look at the front end, the grille and everything, it looks just like a Pontiac GTO.
Really?
So it was built north of the border, and this is a 1969 Pontiac Beaumont convertible.
Wow.
And they only made about 400 of them. And this car has been completely restored, and I think the gentleman's going to put that in the auction. He's north of the border. He lives in Canada. And it is such that the car is in climate-controlled storage.
Oh, wow.
And it's in a place that likely can't be accessed until May because of snow. They've actually had some snow up north of the border. But again, that car, I believe I'm going to seal the deal, and we're going to get that car in the auction as well. So it's so much fun to see what comes out of people's garages, and I learn about a car that I never knew about every single time we have a sale.
As a description reader, like I have become, of course I've always been around them, so I kind of got a little knowledge on a lot of them, but not a lot, but surely not the knowledge that you have as far as being a description reader and stuff. But isn't it fun to learn about some car you've never heard of? I mean, it just like one time I learned about that Playboy made a car. And have you ever seen a Playboy car before?
No.
You need to Google it and check it out. But it's called the Playboy, and it's just a little bitty car. But I think they made it for a couple years. So just jot a note down and just check it out. Just kind of a cool little. Just a little car, man. That's all it is. But I never knew that. And to find out the stuff that was made out there that you really, really didn't know. I created and I need to get you a copy. Do you play music or anything before your auctions?
We have over the sound system before the sale. Yeah,
I need to get you a copy of my new album out. It's called C10 Soul, and it's a soul music about automobiles. It doesn't have an owner's name one in it, but it has the history of the car, and it really doesn't fall in with the classic car vibe, but it is all about classic cars. And I need to get you a copy I'll send you a copy of it just to see it. I'll send you a thumb drive of C10 Soul or Black Tie Soul.
Yeah, shoot.
It's really pretty cool.
That'd be great.
And then I'd also have some other stuff that I've done. I don't know if I was making music or not when we did the one down at Chimino's, but I have started writing songs and turning it into music with these AI programs, and a lot of my stuff is on automobiles, C10 pickups and cars and different things like that. So I'll send you a couple of thumb drives, and maybe you can play some of them and see what you think.
Yeah, I would love to have it. That'd be awesome.
All right.
That would be awesome.
So I'm looking here. We got 72 Dodge Charger. We got a 64 Buick. We got the Lincoln Premier convertible. Wow, what a car, man. In fact, I have a song on the Black Tie Soul that's about the Mercury and the big old Mercury, and man, that's a beautiful car. Big old heavy car, but what a beautiful automobile.
And how can we not pay tribute to, son, you're going to drive me to drinking if you don't stop driving that hot rod. Lincoln.
Yeah, exactly right. And I'm trying to get the exact name here. Let me go to my playlist just for a second here. Because Mercury, back in that era, had cars that were in NASCAR. And this was it's called Mercury Soul. Here it is. But I can't, without playing the song, I can't really go into and tell you the lyrics of it. But it's about an old Mercury like this one here, and like this Lincoln. And they are just really cool cars because there's not a lot of them that survived, man. There just wasn't a lot of survivors left.
Yeah, so that was a '56 Lincoln Premier convertible.
Yeah.
So it was top of the line. It was the top of the hill in the Lincoln lineup, and then you throw the fact that it was a convertible on top of it. They only made a couple thousand of those back in the day, and so it is somewhat of a rare car,
right?
So that car was restored about 50 years ago. A friend of mine, his parents, his dad bought the car back in the early 70s and did the restoration on it, and it's been in the family ever since. And the daughter of the gentleman who bought it, my friend's sister, owns the car. And that car is showing 50 years of fun, right?
Right.
The seats need attention. They're the bumpers aren't perfect. It's a heck of a car. If you just want something that you're going to cruise down the road, man, what a neat opportunity. If you want something that you want to invest some dollars in and have the opportunity to get your dollars back, that would be an incredible car to do it.
Guaranteed.
I can show you some examples of some of those selling in the low six figures.
Wow.
Anyway, there's a million Chevys out there. There's a million whatever's out there. You don't find these Lincolns like that very often.
Right, yeah. And and we're getting close to where we're going to have to go, but 90 Mercedes 300 SL convertible, 75 Cadillac Eldorado, and then I look here and you got an 86 Chevrolet Corvette convertible. I mean, guys, there's something for everybody on here, and even a 99 Chevrolet S10 pickup that really looks really cool. It looks like it's got ground effect on it and stuff. What a beautiful little truck.
Absolutely right. Yeah, that's there will truly be something for everybody along the automotive spectrum in here. We do have that vintage, but it's a hot rod. I fully anticipate that we're going to get some Model A's, Model T's, whatever the case is, and so there will truly be something for everybody.
Guarantee. Well, Craig, we're going to get back on with the motorcycle auction because I got a passion about motorcycles, so I want to talk to you about that when it's time and stuff. So please don't just reach out and say, Roller, it's time. Are you ready to have me on the show? And I will definitely make time for you, man. We'll get you on there and get you hooked up. And it's always a pleasure we still haven't met in person yet, but I look forward to that time when I get a chance to come up there and work one of these sales with you guys.
Absolutely. I look forward to that opportunity very much.
All right, buddy. Well, I tell you what.
And thanks for having me on.
Not a problem. You want to hit those websites again right fast and those phone numbers, Craig?
Yeah, my phone number, reach right through to me, 406-698-7930. That's my cell phone number. My website, classiccarauction.us. And if you want to reach me by email, just throw an info@ in front of classiccarauction.us. So info@classiccarauction.us is my email. Would love to work with anybody looking to sell a car, looking to buy a car, looking to find a car. Somebody wants to talk cars, I'm always available.
And always willing to help sell a collection too, aren't you?
Absolutely. I'm actually kind of working on a deal down in New Mexico, opportunity for a neat collect down that way. We're a ways away from it, but it's, like I said, I don't work, man. I just play.
Yeah, and get to play with other people's dreams. How fun is that, man?
I get to play with other people's cars.
That's
Absolutely.
right. All right, my friend. It's so great to hear from you again, man. I am so glad that you decided to come on, and I was able to help you do this. You keep sending me more stuff, and I'll post it online for you, and I'll try to help you. And
Awesome.
I post this show tomorrow on YouTube, so I have a note right here to send you Walker's information, and I really do want you to call him and see if he has anything and to talk to him, okay?
I will definitely do that.
All right, Craig.
Thank you so much.
You have a nice day, okay?
All right, you too.
All right, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Guys, that's what it's all about, man. That man right there has got got something going on that it's the wave of the future, man. And the best thing about it is you don't have to do anything but just sell it at your house, man. Take some pictures, fill out the form. I'm looking at the form right now, and it's just one page. And he wants some more pictures. Why wouldn't you, give him all the pictures you can to help sell your vehicle? That's the whole thing. So there you go. If you're looking to sell or buy, all you got to do is just remember that group. And it is, my cousin Debbie's on here, and she must be looking at the cars online, but there are some nice cars, and there will be more added. So great people to work with, and I really hope that if you guys are trying to buy or sell a classic car, that you at least consider them and give Craig the opportunity to talk to you about your car, because the man is a wealth of knowledge. He really is, and he knows the business. So, guys, we're going to be back here in a minute. We're going to be talking to Rebecca and Darron Schnell from Bigfoot, but we're going to go ahead and pay a few bills right fast. We have an update on the Rise and Grind coffee commercial. We haven't finished it yet, so we're going to play the old one, but they have sold their mobile coffee trailer, and they are doing a coffee cart so they can bring their business inside to your business. So it's going to be really a cool deal for them, and these young ladies are young entrepreneurs, and I'm glad they're with us. So we'll get a new commercial made up here pretty soon. I just got to get into Texas Rich's timeline so I can have him do the music background on it and stuff, and that's a tough deal, because he is really busy with these metal prints right now, guys. And if you really want to get in there, you need to get on, like I told you earlier in the show, those metal prints. So we'll be right back here from a word from our sponsors with Pedal to the Metal Motors and Music, and we'll be talking to Rebecca and Darron Schnell from Bigfoot Hot Wheels Tour. We'll be right back. Hey Lugnuts, take a look at our new partner, 6ix9ine Graphics and Design, a small design and marketing company big on personalized service. They work close with you to get your business noticed with graphics that stand out and get attention. 6ix9ine Design focuses on stickers, decals, and graphics for your hot rods, custom projects, or business marketing. 6ix9ine Design also includes logo design, brochures, signs, business cards, banners, custom apparel, vehicle graphics, and much more. Remember, that's 6 and the number 9 graphics and design, or go to 6ix9design.com or find them on Instagram at 6ix9design. Hey Lugnuts, need pick-me-up to start your day? Then it's time to go to Rise and Grind. At Rise and Grind Coffee in Parker, Colorado, you'll find everything from bold espressos to creamy lattes to refreshing chai teas and smoothies. Whether you love it regular or decaf, we've got the perfect cup waiting for you. Hungry? Grab a hot breakfast burrito and a fresh muffin to go with your drink. And don't forget to check in on our merchandise. Perfect gift for any coffee lover. Planning on an event? Rise and Grind brings coffee to you with our family-equipped portable coffee trailer. Perfect for weddings, meetings, celebrations of any kind. Stop by 475 Singing Hills Road in Parker, or give us a call at 480-212-3787. That's 480-212-3787. Rise and Grind Coffee, fueling your day one cup at a time. Okay, guys, we're back, and just remember, like I said, the coffee trailer is no longer, they've sold it, but they do have this coffee cart, and it looks like it's something really cool. I got to get with them, and I got to create a new commercial spot for them, and so we can keep on sponsoring or promoting their business. Just a great bunch of people. But our next interview coming up is going to be a kind of a special one to me, because I've met these two a long time ago in the monster truck business, basically when Darron first started, and then all of a sudden Rebecca was on when she'd come in when she had time off, because she was an ER nurse, and she could only get out to the shows every once in a while. And then they were at my retirement show in Lake Charles, and I got to hang out with them and stuff. And then right after that, she started driving, and they get to go all over the world. They get to see stuff that most of us will never get a chance to see. You know, I mean, they're going to be talking about places that they were in and the things that they like and stuff like that. So I really am looking forward to bringing this show to you guys, because of the fact is that they're just such great people, and I absolutely love them. And you know, it's going to be a fun show, man. It's going to be a great show. So if you guys have questions, I'm going to be watching the comments on the phone and stuff like that, just to make sure that I can try to answer some questions and stuff like that. But if you got a chance and you're sitting in front of your computer right now, and you can maybe do a split screen or something, maybe you can go in there and look at the Hot Wheels European Tour, and you can see Rebecca and Darron in action, because this young lady, she got her first win in Copenhagen, Denmark. And how cool is that? Number one, as a lady, to say you got a win in the monster truck business, but to say that you got your first win in Copenhagen, Denmark. Wow. I mean, that's something that a lot of people can't say, you know what I mean? So I really look forward to them being on the show. And it's 7:06. I need to gather up some information right fast. So I'm going to go ahead and play a song here. Let's do something. Let's do that one. I've had a lot of comments on this one about our guy Carroll Shelby. When I was making this song, I kept putting Carroll Shelby's name in there, and the program was kicking it out. And the reason why it was kicking it out was because Carroll Shelby's name is trademarked. You can't use it. So I asked my AI program, did he have any nicknames? And if you watch Ford versus Ferrari, they call him, a lot of them call him Shell. And I thought, that's cool. I mean, Shell's all right. But I said, is there any other names besides Shell? And they said, yeah, they called him, he had a nickname of the Texas Cobra. And I said, oh man, that fits the song right there. So we're going to play the song, The Texas Cobra, and that's what you're going to be listening to. We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music.
Top cuts through dust, lived a man who believed in thrust. Didn't follow roads he carved his own, with a rebel heart and a will of stone. Engine screaming were his prayer, freedom ringing in the desert air. And a fearless grin said, let the revolution begin. Took quiet machines and gave them bite, built them mean, built them right. Doubt came knocking, he slammed the door, then built something faster than ever before. Safe was never in his plan, he was gasoline wrapped in a man. You Texas Cobra, born to run, chasing the horizon, racing the sun. Every Texas Cobra. The Texas Cobra. He didn't just dream, he dared. Didn't just build, he declared. Song and fate, song leave a sound that never dies. The Texas Cobra, forever fast. Ghost in the chrome of a fearless past. Turn the key, let the lightning start. You'll hear his echo in every hot rod heart. Yeah, the highway still leans him over. Long live the legend, the Texas Cobra.
There you go, the Texas Cobra, man. What a life that man led. I'll guarantee you that right now. If you haven't seen Ford versus Ferrari, you need to watch it, man, because it is an amazing show right there. Let's see here, 5:12 and it's 7:10. This will go over just a little bit, but I think we'll go ahead and play it. Being that we're doing Bigfoot, we'll just go ahead and run this one with Mustang Fever. This here is called Mustang Fever. We'll be right back on Pedal to the Metal, Music and Motors.
Caught fire. A brand new legend born from rubber and wire. Low stand shadow with a fighter's grin. Turn the key once, hear the storm begin. Long hood lightning, short back frame, every stoplight screaming out its name. It wasn't built just to roll, it was made to run. Detroit muscle loaded in a smoking gun. Feel that vibration clouding up the spine. Green light drops, now it's go time. Mustang fever burning in my blood. Hear those horses kicking up the dust and mud. Foot to the front of the wild, run free. Every mile screaming who I wanna be. Chrome flashing like a midnight dream. Nothing alive feels this extreme. Mustang fever.
There you go, guys. Mustang Fever. What a great song that is, man. I love that old song. I love me some Mustangs. So, hey, we finished right on time right here. Let's go ahead and give them a call and see if they answer. Let's just see what's going on.
Hello.
What are you doing?
We were just waiting for your phone call.
I had played a song and I thought it was going to go over, but it finished right on the mark. I mean, it was meant to be, I guess, right?
Always things work out the way they're supposed to, don't you think?
I think you're so right. I'm so right. How you been? God, it's so good to hear your voice.
Oh, we've been doing fantastic. It's really good to hear your voice, too. It's been so many years since we've run into each other, so we're super grateful that you reached out to us.
You know, the last time we did, I was telling them on the show that was my retirement one in Lake Charles.
Oh, my gosh. Was it really your retirement one?
Yes. That was a long time ago.
Oh, my gosh.
You weren't even driving. You weren't even driving then.
No, that's been a long time.
You was just on one of your visits, you know, from being a nurse and stuff like that. Yeah. And now look at you. My goodness.
Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, life has thrown some curveballs our way, and things have changed drastically since then.
This is true. This is true. So before we talk anything, I want to know, how are you feeling? Are you doing okay?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you so much for asking. As you saw, I went through some, medical stuff last year. Yeah, quite the surprise for both of us and my family. And I couldn't be more grateful for Darren's parents. They really were a big advocacy for us being able to recover where we did and for the procedure to happen, and just in general, I'm super grateful that it was found and that I'm doing as well as I am now.
You're such a survivor, though. You know, you really are. And let's see here. It says, hi, back from Darren's mom and dad.
Oh, yay, they're listening. I was hoping that they would tune in.
Let's see, who else we got on here? I thought there was somebody else that I had never seen on here, but hello, Barb, how are you? Glad to see you guys on and stuff. So, first of all, I guess we can start with either one of you. It doesn't matter, whoever you want to start with. I just kind of want to get everybody's story a little bit. So, since you're on, you want to start with you, or should we start with Darren?
No, I'm totally going to throw the rope over to Darren because he's the whole reason that I'm doing the monster trucks as it is.
Okay, well, let's do that then, okay?
Sounds great.
All right. Well, he's probably taking a nap. They called me they got online the other night when I was doing my show on Sunday, and it was 3:00 in the morning, and they were just leaving Germany to get on the airplane to come back to the United States. That's the kind of life that happens when you're a monster truck driver, guys. I'm telling you, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, our jet lag is real right now, but no nap.
I believe it. How long was the flight?
No nap yet.
No nap, yeah. And then here Roller calls, and you guys are gracious enough to take some time and talk to me, man. I am so honored. That is amazing. What's up,
Well, we are definitely happy to be here, Roller. It's crazy how the world turns. That who would have thought 15 years ago, hanging out at Monster X shows, that we would be here 15 years later, still running around in monster trucks and being able to talk with you.
Dude, it's the monster truck business for me, and I know it is for you too, has created so many long-lasting friendships. And it's amazing, man. It really is. I get kind of emotional because of the fact is the people that I've met. It's amazing.
It's hard not to get emotional. I mean, we've met so many amazing people over the last few years, and our connections with each and every one, it's so different because we're on a different tour right now. We do a lot of the international events, and we miss out a lot of times on the stateside stuff and the folks that we created those relationships with. When we get back together with them, it's such a blessing that we were able to reconnect.
Sure. And you kind of pick up where you left off, you know? I mean, you just like, hey, how you been and what's been going on, and tell me about your life and stuff. So, you know, Darron, since we're going to start with you, let's just talk about your life as a child growing up in Vail, South Dakota. You know, you were into motorcycles and into reading. Did you ever dream that you'd become a monster truck driver?
Well, that's the key word, Roller. I dreamt I would.
Uh-huh.
Now, I grew up a farm kid that in the middle of nowhere, South Dakota.
Right.
There really wasn't but maybe one show that came around the area every year, and my parents were gracious enough to scrape together the money to go get the front row tickets and see the monster trucks once a year, but it wasn't something that was really in my reality growing up.
Right.
It was a pipe dream, basically. It was the 3 or 4 year old Darron. Someone would ask him, what do you want to do for a living? Well, I want to drive monster trucks. It wasn't a cowboy or lawyer or doctor or whatever kids come up with.
Sure.
I wanted to drive monster truck. Thankfully, through twists and turns of life, we moved away from South Dakota, went to Montana for about 10 years.
Uh-huh.
And when I went to college, I just emailed a guy by the name of Don Frankish,
I know him
and
very
said,
well.
hey, can I come to the show, wash the windshields, tire up and down trucks, whatever you want me to do? I just want to be involved in the sport.
Uh-huh.
And I ran around with Don for 3.5 or 4 years, and he was gracious enough to always do whatever he could, you know, gas money, hotel rooms, whatever he could do to help me out. And that was a lot of fun.
Right.
Well, I graduated from university, and it was, well, either I could chase monster trucks full time or use my degree and either continue my education or the desk job.
Uh-huh.
Something really nice and safe. And I'm sure Barb is on there going, I really wish he would have chosen the nice, safe route and gotten a normal job. But sorry, Mom, that wasn't in the cards for me.
That's right. Guaranteed.
So I started chasing monster trucks full time. And it was 6 or 8 months of living out of the trunk of my car and sleeping in rest areas and whatever I could do to make a paycheck.
Uh-huh.
And it was pay the student loans and cell phone bill and stuff like that at the time. I was young and dumb and didn't have a whole lot, so it really didn't matter. But then I landed at Bigfoot, and that's where my career really took off. And I started out with their display program. I started with Bigfoot 8, taking it up and down the road, putting tires off and on, sitting there for 8 hours a day and doing their display program. And that's where I met Rebecca. And it's amazing how life works and the twists and turns. And now here we are 17 years later, traveling the world and having a grand old time. So
that was about 2008, correct?
Yep. Yeah, we met 2008, and we dated for a couple of years before we got married, and in May we'll celebrate 15 years of marriage.
Congratulations, man. That is, you know, after 15 years, you guys learn how each other live and stuff, because being married is tough, man. It's not an easy job. There's nothing easy about it. It's great, don't get me wrong, but for the first 5 years it's a battle. It's learning how everybody's works, you know, how they how their life is and stuff. So 15 years, you got it in you, man, and I wish you many, 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 many more than that right there. I'll guarantee you that.
Well, I can guarantee you she's not getting rid of me anytime soon. But if you ever want to test a marriage, and this is just you and me talking, Roller,
Right.
live with your wife, travel with your wife, work with your wife, and try to teach her to drive a monster truck.
Now, that's excessive.
The first 5 years of a marriage was tough. Honestly, the first year or two of her driving ranks right up there because we figured out that we speak a very different language.
Sure.
We both speak English,
Right.
but when we comes to monster trucks, we speak a different language. She is very analytical with her nurse stuff.
Yeah.
She is very A, B, C, D, E. Well, I've driven monster trucks for so long. She'd ask me, how do I do this? I don't know. Put your helmet on, pull your belts tight, and go hit something. The truck will take care of you. You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she fired me as her teacher several times over the years,
I
but
bet you so.
we got it figured out.
I'll bet you so. So when you started at Bigfoot and you were running up and down and learning everything on the display stuff, who was kind of like the mentor that you learned the most from at Bigfoot to kind of help you spring ahead in your career?
Well, that's a cool part about Bigfoot is it has a culture unto itself.
Sure.
You learn from everyone.
Uh-huh.
I learned from Kramer. I learned from Rick Long and all of those guys. But you know where this is headed, Roller.
I do, buddy. I do.
Dan was the guy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that he was taken from us too soon last year.
Yep.
And I'm getting a little emotional because that's a big hole.
It is.
It still hurts.
Yeah.
Dan was a mentor, but he was also a very good friend.
Yeah. I was talking to Larry Swim tonight, and he's going to be on the show next month. And I said, okay, is this our tribute show? Or are we not ready to do a tribute show yet? And he goes, dude, I don't know. He says, I said, well, let me just make it easy on you, okay? I'm not ready. I said, I want to ask, but are you ready to do that? And I said, I really am not. I says, I still can't believe it, And I said, so let's try to do it in the midsummer. And he said, he said, that would be even better. I said, that doesn't mean that we're not going to talk because I know it's going to get brought up. But it'd be just hard to do a tribute show right now because it's still too fresh. What an amazing man he was. What an amazing man. And for number one, and I don't mean to take on you guys' time, but my wife has been in the monster truck business because she was my wife, and that's it. She heard stories through me. And she liked a lot of the people that she met. But she absolutely loved Dan. There you go.
It was hard not to. That's just the long and short of it. He was an incredible asset to our team. And I don't like really using the word was because he still is.
Yeah.
He is one of the main reasons Darron and I have been so successful in our driving career to this day. He had way more faith in me than I ever have had in myself. He was an integral part for my driving abilities and my skill, and it was an honor to have learned so much from him.
Yeah, you guaranteed he was. He really was, But anyway, this is that we're going to have you guys back on when we do that tribute show. You're going to be able to tell your Dan Runty stories, and everybody's got a pocket full of Dan Runty stories, and I'm not talking about one pocket. I'm talking about many pockets. And working for him, I'm sure you guys have plenty. So
we've got some stories.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely do that. So let me see here. I got some. This is about the only one that I've ever, and I'm reading off of the notes that I made from creating your song. So Darron started driving in 2011. Is that correct, Darron?
Yeah, thereabouts. I had some one-offs before that, but full-time I think was 2011.
Uh-huh. And now, what year did you have the cow truck? What was the cow truck? What year was that?
I think the cow truck was 2012 to 14 or 15.
That was, I still have it's still in the blister pack right up there with all my monster truck stuff, and it's still got your signature on it and everything. I'm going to have to hook up with you, and I'm going to have Rebecca sign it too. That's all there is to it. I'm sorry, dude, but I just got to have it. Ain't a complete set.
I understand.
It's not a complete set, man. You know, it really isn't. But, you drove trucks 8, 11, 15, 19, 21, and 23. Dude, you have piloted so many Bigfoot trucks. What does that feel like to be a part of that many Bigfoot trucks?
It's really hard to describe the lineage. The trucks that I watched when I was a kid, being able to drive 8 and 11. And, I watched Andy Brass do the wheelie run in 11, and I watched that over and over and over as a kid. And then to strap into that thing, just the history with them, and then progress through my career to all the new trucks. And we're actually fitting up number 25 right now.
That's crazy.
We got a brand new truck in the shop that we're working on, so it'll debut sometime later this year. So you go all the way from the trucks I watched as a kid to the latest and greatest out the shop doors. So it's honestly an honor, Roller, to be trusted with that kind of equipment, that much responsibility, and they kick you out the door and go have fun.
Yeah, exactly. You're running up and down the roads, going across the ocean, and you got, a new Bigfoot truck right now. Basically, what's the cost of a new Bigfoot truck right now?
That's the best part of our jobs. That's someone else's department. I don't want to know how much a brand new turnkey is.
Yeah, I understand why.
Because I know what I'm about to do to it,
right?
And I don't know, but it's a lot.
Well, the thing is, Darren, and as well as I do, that truck is built to do the things that you're getting ready to get in and do to it. That truck is stout. That truck's built. It's built by people that are very, very good monster truck builders, and as a driver, you have to feel very confident hopping in that truck and saying, "Okay, baby, let's go play."
Yeah, that's the funny thing is when you're talking with fans, they ask, are you ever scared? And my canned response is, no, I feel safer in my monster truck than I do in my car driving down the street.
Guaranteed.
I'm in there safe. I know even if I go for a tumble, I'm going to get out of it laughing.
Yeah.
And there's actually one of the pictures that I rolled 19 over at a Monster National show years ago. And I got out and I was just giggling. And there's a picture of me pulling my head sock off and Rebecca just staring at me like she had daggers in her eyes. She didn't understand it yet, but it's still a lot of fun.
Sure. Well, yeah. And like you said, you're not going to get hurt. Sure, there's a chance that anybody can get hurt in anything, but the chances of you getting hurt, I always used to tell people, the safest place at this whole monster truck show is inside that monster truck, and that's the truth, man. It really is. It
really is. The injuries and stuff is usually when you're working on them and you bump your head or you cut your hand or whatever else. The working on them is the actual dangerous part.
Yeah, that's the truth. That is the truth. So, second place in the Monster National Championship, how did that make you feel?
I was actually really disappointed with that one. I was going up and down the road and had a bunch of wins, and I thought I had number one sewn up, and Larry came through, and I think he got it at the very last event. So it was really cool to have the section that I was running, I think I got first place in the Midwest or whatever it was, but I'm up short to Larry. Yeah, you can kind of understand it, but I was disappointed with that one.
Well, each one of you guys had your own style of driving. I mean, and that's just the way it is. I mean, and everybody's not going to be a Dan Runte. Everybody's not going to be a Larry Swim. Everybody's not going to be a Darron Schnell. There's things that you guys do that you perfect, that you're proud of doing, and you think you got it all, and then all of a sudden here comes somebody else, and they got a little bit better or something, and they beat you out. But it doesn't mean that you're not a good driver, and that second place, that's still pretty dang good, man, throughout a whole season.
Not bad for an entire season, especially in those days.
Yeah.
We were going up and down the road alone. I was driving the semi, setting the truck up, didn't have crew guys, and so that was basically just me at that time. So the sport's evolved a little bit since then.
Right, and that was a big job, man. I mean, running the truck up the highway in bad weather and all that stuff, and then getting to the show, maybe having to do a display or two, tiring up, tiring down, tiring up, tiring down, getting ready for the show, doing the show, signing autographs, if the truck broke, you had to fix it, loading it all back up, getting it, going to the next one, and you're a one-man band. Dude, that's incredible. I mean, that really is. That's probably the biggest deterrent for me in being in the monster truck business. I know I probably could have asked Don King if I wanted to, but I didn't want to be the one out there on the road driving up and down the road. I was spoiled. I enjoyed coming home after Sunday and being home and doing my weekly gig and then flying out again on Thursday. It was kind of spoiling for me, but you guys were still out there making it work, man.
Yeah, and we enjoyed it too.
Yeah.
That's kind of the old school way of doing it. The drivers going out alone and going in and out, but now we're kind of evolved into the international stuff, and we take airplanes to venues, and it's a little further plane ride than you used to, but kind of
not a little,
the same.
A lot.
We're in a position now to where we work really, really hard for 4 days. We usually load in to our buildings on Thursday afternoon or Friday morning, do shows Friday, Saturday, Sunday sometimes, and when the trucks go in the containers at Sunday night, you don't got to worry about them for a few days. So we're enjoying the change of pace on that.
Sure. So, and then let's see here. You do the Monster X Tour Midwest region, first place, King of the Beach win, and now you're driving for Hot Wheels, man, and Bigfoot both. Two iconic names. I can remember when I got my first Hot Wheels set as a kid. I thought, this is it. This is the best toy I'll ever have in my whole life. And now, you're going around driving for the company itself. What's that feel like?
It's very very interesting because Hot Wheels is recognized worldwide.
Yes.
So in some respects, you go into a non-English speaking country, especially, and people come out with Hot Wheels shirts, and we have a hard time communicating because language barrier. But the toys and the monster trucks, it brings people together.
Right.
So the branding it's iconic is the word that comes to mind, and you can relate to people that you don't even speak the same language with through toys, through the branding, and just people having fun.
Right. Do you think that Tom McEwen and Don Perdome would have ever thought it would have gotten this big? Because, they were the big creators of the whole thing, man. When they pitched the idea to go with Mattel, and they took the Hot Wheels name and really put it on the map, I believe. That's my belief, because, number one, that was my first race set, But
yeah.
It's iconic how big it's gotten. It's gotten so huge.
And to link the toys with the trucks, I'm driving Rhinomite this year, and it's just it's a giant cartoon character is the best way to put it.
Right.
It's my first true 3D truck. I drove Snakebite here and there, but the little toy and the truck relate so well together, and to see those little kids walk up with a toy and it's just larger than life, it's so much fun.
Sure. Now, are the toys really popular at the shows over there?
Very much so. I'm not sure if I can quite beat my wife yet in toy sales, but
Well, dude, she's just. When I was making the song, I had different names, and I had the farmer and the nurse, or the quiet man and the nurse, and then I had Beauty and the Beast. And she's always gonna be the beauty, bro. And that's all there is to it. I mean, there is nothing you can do. And I'm not knocking. You're a handsome man, and I'm not making a pass at you either. But my goodness, that's just the way it's gonna be. And I'm glad you're come to grips with it, bro. That's all there is to it.
It was hard there for a minute, Roller. I didn't quite understand it, because I could be the most energetic, entertaining, charismatic person on the microphone, give the best interview of my life.
Right.
She steps in the microphone, no one cares about me
They forgot about you. Yeah.
Yep.
That's it. Dude, that's just so cool, man. I just love it. So, in the European tour, I'm going to ask her the same thing. Where's your favorite place to have gone? Where's the best place you've done your show?
Kind of depends on what you're looking for. I'm a big food person, so Italy was pretty awesome. Rome had some wonderful pizza and pasta. You're never going to get around that. Portugal was absolutely beautiful beaches, but I think for the farm kid in me, I got to go with New Zealand.
Yeah.
It was a lot of big open areas, a lot of farm life. There's no real interstates in that entire country. There's 2 or 3 lane roads, but not near what we have in the States. You have to drive winding roads up and down mountains, and it was an honor to go there, because Monster Trucks, I don't think, had been there in like 15 years or something. Wow. Crazy.
That's crazy.
So the people were very, very receptive, and that would probably top of my list of, if I wasn't going to live in the U.S., where would I go? Probably New Zealand.
Really? That beautiful, huh?
It is absolutely gorgeous, and if you have a spare 15 hours, jump on a plane.
That's a long time on an airplane, my brother.
It is a very long time on an airplane.
That the other night when Rebecca texted me and said, "Hey, it's 3:00 in the morning here. We're just jumping on the airplane." I was like, "Oh no, they're going to be flying for so long. I mean, what do you do besides sleep in that time frame? Just sitting in an airplane where you can't step outside and catch some fresh air."
You do get a little stir crazy. It's funny, at the end of these long flights, people get up and they start walking, and you can tell people get really restless. But we'll sit there, we read books and watch movies, and basically the stuff when you're sick and can't get out of bed. Yeah. That's what we do on the airplane.
Well,
it's one of those things where it's not fun. It's part of the job.
Yeah.
Flying is flying.
Yeah, that's the truth. You can only make it so fun, right?
Yeah.
So what about fan interaction out of every place you've been? What was the best fan interaction?
You got some hard questions tonight, Roll.
Sorry, dude. I know you're working on no sleep, but you gotta be, as a driver. You gotta be, because I know as an announcer, when that crowd was electric, it just imprinted in your brain, man, that wow, this is the most awesome show that I've done this year. So there's got to be that one as a driver that you step out of the truck and you're like, okay, this one so far has got to be the best one.
The one that gave me like tingles was the London '02. I think we sat like 18 or 19,000 people.
Wow.
And we did it for 4 or 5 shows one year. And that was one of the only stadiums that in the middle of a freestyle run, I couldn't hardly think because the crowd noise was more than the engine noise.
Right.
So you have that aspect of, holy cow, that is a lot of people and that's a lot of noise.
Sure.
But the ones that really stick out are the ones that come back year after year. And especially overseas, they'll travel 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. They'll take airplanes to come to our shows.
Really?
Because we're not coming to their country this year.
Uh-huh.
And then they walk up in Crash Zone and they have pictures. And we're only 5 years into the international tour, but they have pictures of them growing up and standing next to me every time.
Wow.
And that's the one fan that gets me of, you don't realize the impact you're making until that fan walks up and goes, yeah, I traveled 8 hours to come see you, and I've seen you every year somewhere.
Wow.
And it just kind of kicks you of, no, this is really serious here, and people really love us.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what, man. You guys is a young married couple. I think it's the best job in the world, man. The countries that you get to see and the places that you get to go. Most people will never be able to go to half the places in their lifetime that you guys have been in the last 5 years.
That's definitely true, and it's something that I was very nervous about when we first started.
You have to be, yes.
I mean, there were some places that I had to look up on a map or a globe because I couldn't pronounce them nor know where in the world they were.
Right.
And to get on an airplane and go, well, I don't know where I'm going, but here we go. And then to be able to share it with Rebecca has been honestly one of the crowning moments of our lives.
Yeah.
That we get to do it together. I think if we weren't traveling together, I would have quit monster trucks a while ago.
Well, and that's just the type of person you are. I can tell that's the way your mom and dad raised you. You know, you're a family man. And when you make a commitment to take a bride, and she can't be with you when you're gone for the time length that you're gone and stuff, you're not going to do that job. You're going to find out something that's going to keep you at home at nights and stuff like that. But yeah, you're right. To be able to share that with your wife, I mean, those are memories for a lifetime. That's the home movies that you guys will have are going to be amazing, and they are.
I'm very, very glad that Rebecca takes a lot of pictures and videos of this stuff, because after 5 or 6 years, it's all starting to kind of run together.
Sure.
And I'm having a hard time remembering, we've been here, we've been there, because the way my mind works, I jump off an airplane, walk into a building, I can tell you exactly what happened, where we had lunch, whatever. But until I see it, it's not there.
Right. Now, are you driving the semi from the shows, or the shows just really? I mean, you fly into that town or whatever, or drive into it, and that's where the show is, and then it's done, and it stays there.
We are very, very fortunate that the overseas stuff, everything goes into shipping containers.
Right.
And then the shipping containers get transported for us. They go either on a truck or rail or boat, or sometimes if the logistics are crazy, the monster trucks might be on all three. And we actually, through a scheduling conflict, had to put all 7 monster trucks on an airplane last year.
Oh, wow.
So that was quite an adventure, just the way the routing worked out. We took off from Mom and Dad's house in South Dakota, and we started flying east. And we flew to Belgium, loaded the airplane, took everything out of our containers and put it on skids and packed everything up. Then we flew from Belgium to Australia, did the Australia shows, and after 5 weeks, we kept flying east. We came home. So we made it around the world flying east. And a few weeks later, we took off for New Zealand and left the farm flying west and flew to New Zealand, did the stadium shows in New Zealand, and then Rebecca and I jumped on an airplane and we flew all the way to the Middle East, where another Bigfoot truck was sitting there. I drove it in the Middle East, and then we flew from the Middle East west back to the farm. So last year we managed to circle the globe twice, once in each direction.
Wow, that's crazy. Your frequent flyer miles are big, man. You can do whatever you want with your frequent flyer miles.
That's the phrase of "it's 5 o'clock somewhere" always makes me giggle, because last year really illustrated we had no idea sometimes what time it was or what country we were in.
That is crazy, man. So now, last question, and then we'll get with Rebecca, but is there somebody that travels from Bigfoot with the trucks wherever they go, or you just say, okay, here you go, here's my trucks, I'm done, and I'll see you at the next show?
We take them, and usually when we close the doors, the logistics company has metal seals, and we seal our containers to where we don't got to worry about them. All the paperwork and stuff is in order, and we'll see them at the next city. So the logistics company grabs them, and off they go.
Wow, that's got to cost a lot of money to put on a tour like that, to put trucks on airplanes or on boats and on stuff like that. The cost of doing a show has just got to be fantastic.
I'd imagine that getting us around the world is not cheap.
No, not at all. That's just you two getting around, not to mention you have, do you have one crew chief or one crew person that goes with you, or is it just you and her?
This year we actually expanded to 3 trucks. So Cody Smith is with us with driving Rebecca's old truck. And then Rebecca is driving the newest Bigfoot, the newest touring Bigfoot.
Right.
She is in number 24 right now. And then we have one gentleman that travels with us as our crew chief. So there's the 4 of us with 3 trucks right now.
Wow. So I did say that was the last, but I didn't ask you very much about Rhinomite. How is it like to drive Rhinomite? Did you have to relearn how to drive because of the body? Can you still see out the bottom very good? I mean, what's that all about?
It's definitely an adventure. It isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. When I saw the toy and saw a giant hood in the middle of giant horn in the middle of the hood, I thought it was going to be extremely difficult. But it honestly, I've had to trim a little bit here and there, but I'm getting used to it.
Good. So whose creation was Rhinomite? Was that Hot Wheels, or was that somebody at Bigfoot's idea, or what? Who created it?
That would be somebody at Hot Wheels. All the Hot Wheels trucks come from their main headquarters in California.
Oh, wow. So how many trucks are on the tour then? How many do you have?
Currently there are 7 touring in each of the Hot Wheels series.
Are they all American drivers?
They are currently. There is a Brit that has been on crew side that I think they're going to try to move to a driver side with PEI, but I don't know when that's supposed to happen. But we're starting to collect, as we go around the world, all the freestyle motocross guys are from France and Spain and Switzerland, and have a lot of UK track crew, and you meet really good people along the road,
Right.
and when they're willing, we are always looking for people, Roller. You know how monster trucks are.
Oh yeah, guaranteed, for sure. Well, maybe if I was younger and I was a single guy, because I surely couldn't do it with kids and a wife. But I think that would be a dream job, to be able to represent. Of course, I've always been a Bigfoot fan as a little kid. That was my truck, and to be able to know people like Bob Chandler, Jim Kramer, Eric Tack, yourselves, Larry Swim, Dan Runtes, Andy Brass, all them guys, I mean, it's just, I never would have thought that I ever would have met any of those people before. And that's, people have said, well, your show's a lot of Bigfoot. Oh, yeah, it is, because it's my truck, man. That's why I love it. I love all the trucks, but, I mean, Bigfoot is, I've never been bashful about it. I've always said I'm very partial to Bigfoot, and what a company to represent, man, to walk around with the big blue oval, man. That's the bomb right there, buddy.
All right, Roller, I got one question for you.
All right, go ahead.
You got a passport?
Do I have a passport? No, I had one when I was getting ready to do some touring with Monster X Tour, but I do not have a passport right now, no.
All right, so you need to get on that. When you get a passport, you start Monday.
Oh, dude, you don't know how much the young Roller would just jump all over that, because I would be more willing to do that than a man in the moon. Because I got so much history with Bigfoot that I think I'd be a great Bigfoot person, number one, for sure. But I think I'm going to probably have to pass.
Well, you're going to break my heart one way or the other. That'd be okay today.
Well, buddy, I tell you what, man, I'll get back with you before the show is done. But I just want you to know that number one, I love you so much, man. You're my brother, and thank you for being on and telling your story.
Hey, thank you for having me, Roller.
Anytime. So before we get Rebecca on, of course, as I do with all the drivers and stuff, I make a song. And I made a song. So let me find it here. Let's just see here. And I kind of got a partial, we love it, it's okay, but I never got a verbal, it's okay to play it. So is it okay to play the song?
Oh, you can totally play it. I think it's great.
All right. We'll be right back here in a minute on Pedal to the Metal, Motors Music.
Born in the South Dakota sky, Darron had grit and a fearless drive. 2 wheels, back roads, wind in his face, motorcycles and paperbacks, horsepower in his veins. 2008 he joined the crew, Bigfoot thunder, a dream come true. By 2011 he was behind the wheel, Bigfoot steel, making stadiums feel. He drove trucks, 811, 15 in line, 19, 21, 23, shine from Midwest dust to king of the beach. First across the line, victory in reach. Second in nationals, first in the fight. Monster X Tour Midwest winner under Friday Night Lights. Fire suits and scrubs, living wide open. One heel chasing dreams on the run. Carolina born with steady hands, Rebecca answered sirens before the monster truck fans. ER floors pressurizing fast, calm in the chaos when seconds wouldn't last. But something pulled beyond those walls, engine screaming louder than the ER calls. 2019, she took the wheel, trailblazer, heart and nerves of steel, driving trucks 15, 18, 19, Bigfoot blue, first woman racing the European view. 2020 lights, history made, Hot Wheels, monster trucks live on the global stage. Her first big win, Denmark's roar, Copenhagen crowned a champion once more. She left the cold blues for monster truck runs, still saving lives, inspiring daughters and sons. They met at a show in Carolina Air, shared one spark and a passion there. Now Darron and Rebecca side by side, carrying Bigfoot pride worldwide. Together, wherever Bigfoot roars. From Denmark, Midwest to Spain, carrying blue steel through sunshine and rain, rocking his heart, country in her soul. Two different roads, but a single goal. When the engines fire and the lights come up, it's Darron and Rebecca, fire suits and scrubs.
Well, there you go, guys.
Sunrise on the rooftops.
We don't want to go into that song. Sunrise on the rooftop. Anyway, Rebecca, thank you for being on the show. I appreciate it, and thank you for taking care of our big guy, because he is an amazing man, and you know that as well as I do, or you wouldn't have married him. But what a team you guys are! I knew you guys were going to make it for a long time the first time I met you, and you always treated me so well. Thank you very much for that.
Oh, well, thank you for having us on. It's a delight, and we are honored to share our story and hopefully inspire another young couple or any other people that are interested in getting into the monster truck world.
Oh, man, wouldn't that be great to be able to say you inspired another couple to take over when you guys decide you want to just enjoy life?
Yeah.
That really would. So let's start out with your story. Born in North Carolina, and growing up, what did you always want to do as a little girl? What was your dreams as a little girl?
Well, it changed a couple times. I grew up riding horses, so like four-legged horsepower versus motorized horsepower. I did some English riding, and then I had always aspired to be a veterinarian until I had to put one of my horses down, and I decided that was not for me, and I went through high school, and I decided that I wanted to be a nurse. Never in a million years would I have told you that I would be a monster truck driver.
Right. Now, you kind of had a passion, though, for trucks and stuff, didn't you, a little bit? I mean, you kind of liked, not monster truck, but you liked trucks as a whole and stuff like that, being, kind of a cowgirl, kind of?
Yeah, I always had an interest in trucks. I liked big trucks. I liked things that were jacked up. That's kind of the nature of where I'm from. We like big trucks and mud tires and the songs that they sing when you go down the highway, and just being like, I was a country gal. That's just where I was from. So that was my big interest. And I always went to the monster truck shows growing up. There was always one at the Greensboro Coliseum complex that I went to every single year. So I was always interested in monster trucks, but I never thought that would be where a career path would lead for me.
So did you ever see a Bigfoot truck at one of the shows that you attended?
I have a vivid memory of being a young child to seeing a Bigfoot truck at a tractor and truck pull when I was very young. And then the actual, like I always tell everybody, the first Bigfoot monster truck driver that I ever met seeing a Bigfoot truck was Ron Bachman.
What a great man.
It wasn't even Darron. Yeah. Oh, what a legend. We
Yeah.
have some amazing memories with that man. And yeah, so he was actually the first Bigfoot monster truck driver that I had ever met.
Wow. Did you kind of get the bug then, maybe a little bit, or
I don't know if I got the bug per se, because I really didn't have any conversations of where a career path would lead for the company for me.
Right.
But he was at a Firestone display, and he had the truck set up on the side of the road. So I was like, Mom, let's stop. I'd like to see this monster truck, because at that point, it was rare that you got to see the monster trucks up close and personal unless you bought, pit party or crash zone passes to do that. So it was an opportunity that I explored, and he was a very, very nice man and a nice interaction when I had that with him. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. And I have the 8x10 that he signed for me. I still have that. I kept it because I thought it was a really cool piece of memorabilia.
Yes.
Even before I met Darron, I was like, this is cool. I'll put that on my wall. And yeah, so that was my experience really with monster trucks at first.
Well, and then starting out, so how long have you been driving now?
I tested in 2019 and show debuted in 2020. So with the exception of the year of lack of entertainment, it would be about 5 years.
Yeah. So already driving 15, 18, and 19, and then the truck that you're in now, is that 19, or what number is that?
I graduated out of 19 and moved into Bigfoot 24 this year.
See, that's 4 trucks in your short career. That's amazing. And to be, there was Marilyn, there was Amber, and you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
3. That's it. That falls into an elite category. That's amazing. I mean, that really is. I mean, I'm just proud to hear when I heard that you were doing that. I was just like, wow, I think she's gonna be really good at it. I just didn't understand how a nurse could do all this time in the nursing field, and then all of a sudden one day she's driving monster trucks. So kind of maybe kind of fill me in on what made you decide to change careers like that, because you were rocking your nursing career.
Yeah. Well, what had happened was, Roller, I essentially, as you met us early on in our relationship and career with Darron's monster truck adventures, I would go to nursing school. This is back, I graduated nursing school in 2014. So we got married in 2011. So in between that time frame, I went through nursing school on the weekends when I wasn't working at the hospital, because I had a full-time position there as well.
Right.
I would fly to the show, or I would ride with Darron, and I would help him at the end of the weekend. And I got to learn pretty much most of the mechanics that I know about anything by Darron breaking a lot of things, and me having a lack of patience and, being tired just from working my shifts and then traveling with him. I would be like, all right, let's hurry up and get this fixed. How can I help you? Show me what to do here, blah, 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 to get us back to get some rest before the next day of shows.
Right.
So that I've always had, I feel like, a competitive nature with my background competing on horseback. So when I started seeing, I was like, this is kind of cool. I actually kind of like this. This is a competition. This is really interesting for me. I think it was, what was the Jamboree year where there was a news anchor? I remember this vividly. There was a news anchor. It was a lady. She came out. They said, we're going to put you in this truck. And I was like, oh, I want to do that. And I told Mr. Trent that if they ever got an opportunity, put me in, coach, I'll sign up for it. Other than that, I had only moved the trucks in the pits. I didn't really know anything about driving at that point. And I was really envious of this gal. And she did what I feel like would have been maybe a lot of people's first experience behind the wheel of a monster truck. She was very scared of it. She didn't really want to do anything. And I was like, well, give me the suit. I'll put it on and we'll pretend that it's her driving and it's really me driving. I'll go do this stuff, And then that spiked a big interest, and I put in a lot of pretty much blood, sweat, and tears on the weekends trying to keep up with my career, because I graduated nursing, took on a full-time position being an ER nurse, and chasing Darron around the country. And they took note of that. And when Hot Wheels decided that they were going to go and do an international tour, they wanted to send 2 Bigfoot trucks over. And I looked at the bosses and I said, hey, I will take some time off of nursing because at that point I was getting a bit exhausted. I'll go sell T-shirts. Look, whatever they need, let me in. I'll go do it. Well, I think it was about, I want to say, a month or so later, we had our open house that year, and it was Bob and Ann and Dan, and they pulled Darron and I both into the front office that morning. And I remember having my sunglasses on because I wear prescription lenses, and I had my prescription sunglasses on in the office, and Bob starts talking, and he could not formulate his words very well. And so Dan's standing in the corner, and he's watching both of us very intently, and then Anne chimes in and she's like, well, we're just going to cut to the chase here, Rebecca. We just want to know, since you've worked so hard and we've watched you over the years and we know that you have a desire to do it, we want to know if you want to drive a monster truck, and we're going to send you internationally, but you don't have to answer us right now. So that was that was the way that it was a big shock, jaw dropped at the very first part of a very big day for us. Open house is very busy.
Yes,
here.
it is.
And we're grateful that we have so much celebration going on. But that was the start of a very big day for us. And of course, I answered them pretty quickly and told them that I would absolutely love to do that. Although I did not know if I was going to enjoy it as much as I do now, because I'd never strapped into a seat before, never been confined in a tight space like that. And, I just completely new to, I guess, having my own opportunity in motorsports. So one thing led to another, and here we are almost 6 years later,
How cool is that?
Full-time career.
Do you think that you would ever go back to nursing?
I still nurse, actually.
Awesome.
I have a shift this weekend coming up. I can never give it up completely.
No.
Yeah, no, I still nurse when we're home and when I'm off shift or off tour. I have a position at the hospital in St. Louis that I have a requirement that I have to fulfill for hourly and my educational responses, and it's my first love, so I can't ever give it completely away.
Wow, that is amazing. So when you go to the hospitals and you do all your stuff with them, is everybody like, okay, so where have you been? What's going on? How's everything going? You got to tell the story before you get actually into work,
Sometimes, yeah, it depends on, which hospital that I'm working at that week. And a lot of them, no, I've been a nurse, for 12, 13 years now. So yeah. I'm senior status at this point with, the new and young nurses coming in. And so a lot of them have watched the progression of my career too, and it's really cool to share those experiences with them. And the best part about it is it doesn't matter which career path you speak in. We have such supportive coworkers that it means so much to us that no matter what, they keep pushing us to do better and be better and perform better and just make sure that we're giving it our best.
Right. And I think as somebody like, if I was in Darron's shoes or something like that, or any of the other drivers in the deal, that somebody's there with the capability of being an emergency responder that you could trust, because when you're in a different country, you don't know who you can trust and who you can or whatever. At least you're going to be able to help them a little bit when you go to the hospital or whatever. I mean, that you got to give some kind of comfort for the guys, for you being there with those skills.
I hope so. I mean, I've definitely taken care of quite a few patients over the last few years. Like Darron said, we tend to get hurt more outside the truck than we do in the truck because of the greatest safety innovations that we've made over the few years. Right. It's obviously allowed me, after my procedure, to get back in a truck and to keep going. Right. But yeah, I hope so. I love what I do with nursing. I love what I do with monster trucks. There's no other way for me to describe it.
How good of a feeling that is, to be able to wake up and love two jobs that are complete ends of the spectrum. I mean, they're so far away from each other that it's so different. But to be able to do both and to love both jobs, that's an amazing feeling.
Yeah, I love when I do media appearances and interviews. One of my lines that I use frequently is that when I'm a nurse, I get to take care of patients and people on some of their worst days. And then when I perform on the monster truck, I get to create these core memories for some of their best days.
There you go. So have you been responsible for any innovations in the monster truck business? I mean, anything? Have you said, hey, guys, the body really can't take it this kind of punishment, we need to maybe try to come up with something? Have you come up to try to help bring new innovations into the monster truck business?
I wouldn't necessarily say specifically monster truck business, but as far as Bigfoot, there's definitely been some size differences between like myself and Darron and some of our other drivers. And there's been some changes or advancements in our technologies that we have each driver utilizing a little bit differently for, their personal safety aspect of it.
Right.
We give them the options now. For me, I went from using a Hans to using a hybrid sport for my neck restraint. And I think some of the other drivers are also utilizing that versus a Hans. I don't think necessarily one's better than the other. For females, I feel like the hybrid is definitely a little bit more safer than a Hans just because of our build and the things that we have that men don't have.
Sure.
To be honest.
Yeah.
So there's things like that, and like just techniques of strapping in and which harness is the best and which seat provides more cushion and what's better for a bigger size person and a smaller size, those kinds of things.
Right. So explain the two devices that you're talking about for our listeners out there, because there's a lot of them that don't even understand what you're talking about as far as a Hans device. So explain the difference between those two.
The easiest way for me to describe it would be like the neck restraint that I use is the hybrid sport, and I put it on like a backpack. So I put my arms into it, throw it over my back, and click it into my helmet with, I use like anchor posts for mine versus a quick release.
Right.
And then a Hans just sits kind of on top of the shoulders, does the same exact thing that a hybrid does. It's just a different setup as far as hooking into the helmet, and it keeps the neck from doing too much movement because additional movement creates injuries, and that's not really good for longevity in the sport.
That's the truth, because just think of if the people like maybe Jim, Andy Brass, those guys coming through what they did back in the days with the suspensions they had and stuff. Just think if they had those technologies now, they might be a lot better off.
Yeah, I mean, Dan drove. I was very blessed, and I love to talk about him because it gives me comfort to know the memories that I have with him,
Sure.
that we keep still living. So, I aspire to keep his legacy alive very strongly. But I was very, very fortunate that after I had my surgery, my whole plan was that I wanted to be back in the truck by Australia, New Zealand, specifically New Zealand, because I had never really driven stadium shows, and those were all set to be stadium shows. And Dan ventured at his age. He came down to Australia. He drove at our 50th open house last year, and he came down to Australia and he filled in for me for a couple shows to make sure that I was recovered enough to get back in the truck. And at his age, with the advancement of technology that we have and those devices, it allowed him to be able to do that comfortably.
Yeah. That's amazing. That is amazing, I tell you. So I guess what we need to probably talk about, I'm just kind of looking here, I'm skimming through different notes, and you guys have had many interesting things. That's why I made some of these notes, but let's talk about Copenhagen and that first win.
Oh, that was a cool experience. I had set that first year in my mind that I wasn't there to win anything. I was there to continue learning and improve my driving abilities. And I came out there and I had a stacked fleet of trucks and drivers that year, and somehow miraculously pulled off my first win of what we called, at the time it was the Titan Cup, and now it's the Champions Cup. But it was a big honor for me to be able to successfully take home my first win, and the crowd was very supportive. Their country has a lot of female, where the females are pretty much mandated to work.
Right.
And so for a female to be able to come out in the sport, I was the only female that year driving the monster truck. So for a female to come out and win the event, it was a big deal for them.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So how do the ladies perceive you over there? I mean, do you have a following? Do you have a fan base?
I do. I have quite a few. I've grown my social media platforms a little bit based on just being able to show up and drive the truck and interact and engage with fans. I have a lot of women that are inspired to become in somewhere in the motorsports world, and they ask questions, and I think that's my favorite part, honestly. I always tell them, driving the truck is really cool. The truck is who is what's famous, not myself. I just get to be the really cool and lucky person that gets to drive the truck. And it's really important to continue to chase dreams no matter what and to continue learning. And I think that's been my biggest goal for each year that I've set, is to learn something new. You know, jumping into so many different trucks, each truck drives a little bit differently. And it's a really big goal attainment for me now, especially after procedures, to continue to learn and grow and just go out there and do the best I can each and every time I get behind the wheel.
Right. We have a very good friend of mine on here. I worked with her dad in the auctioneering business, and her name is Carter, and she wants to know, do you ever get butterflies when she's driving?
Do I get butterflies when I'm driving?
Uh-huh.
I get butterflies every single time I drive. I think that's important to note, and I think that's an excellent question from her, because when we get too complacent and too comfortable, the truck will humble you real fast.
Oh, guarantee. You know, before you finish answering your question, my dad used to tell me, the equipment has no brains. You're the brains. And the minute you think you mastered it, it's going to show you that you didn't. And it's so true. So go ahead and finish what you're talking about.
No, that was absolutely correct. Dan taught me that early on too. He said, you know, just make sure that you are always cognizant of where you are and don't get complacent. And I take that to heart, because every time that I've got complacent, it's bit me in the butt.
Right, exactly. So my cousin Debbie's on here, and she wants to know, do people recognize you guys on the airplanes?
There have been a couple instances that we have been recognized on the airplanes. There's been some instances we've been recognized in stores, which is really cool. And I always try to, I don't ever want anyone to feel like they can't come up and talk to us and say hi. We're obviously, we put our pants on the same way as everybody else does. So we are not beside that at all. And we encourage people, because I love to educate and love to teach. And I love for people to ask questions and just come talk to us.
Yeah. Now, do you guys, with all the new technology and stuff out there, don't you guys have these language transferring earbuds that so you can understand these people, or does that not really work?
Yeah, no, we're both kind of old school. We don't really wear our headphones a lot and when we're out in public, but on our cell phones, we have the app Google Translate, so we use that a lot. And I will have a full-on conversation with someone in my autograph line, basically through Google Translate if they don't speak English and I don't speak their language. And it's really a blessing, because they're still able to feel like they're very important to me and my time, and I'm able to answer the questions that they have.
Now, you brought up an interesting question. You know, the autograph over here, they're okay. The bigger shows, they're even better. What are autograph lines like over there? What does the fans think about that?
Well, you have to remember that some of the biggest vehicles that they have in a lot of these countries are like Ford Rangers that we have here. I think every now and again we'll see a Chevy 1500 or Silverado 1500 or a Ram, whatever. I don't know Ram products very well, but that's the biggest vehicle that they see. So monster trucks are still a novelty to them. And like Darron was sharing with you earlier, we have fans that continue to come back year after year when we visit the countries. So they love monster trucks. They love the action that we bring with the car crushing and the sport that we have there. And it's really dependent on the location, but I'll throw out a wild number, 90% of the time, it is a consistent hour and a half to 2 hours of signing nonstop and interacting with fans, for not just myself or Darron, but for each one of our drivers that we have on tour. It's a big blessing for them and an honor for them to be able to come see something up close and personal that would be very rare for them to get to see any other time.
Sure. Now, do you guys do the traditional before the show pit party and the autographs, or do you do the autographs after the show out by the trucks? How's the structure set up for the autographs?
Yeah, so the Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live group, we call it the Crash Zone or the pre-show, and so that's the same kind of thing that they used to do back in the day here, where the kids and adults can come down, meet us drivers, and they queue up, and we sign whatever they have for us to sign, and we do an autograph card where they go around and collect all the truck signatures, and then there's an area with toys for the kids to play, and they have trivia questions throughout that event, and that's pretty much the same. We don't really do any after show autograph sessions, just because we have pretty quick turnaround for most of the time. It's 2 shows a day. Most of the shows in the UK are 4 shows at least.
Wow.
Sometimes we do this show. Yeah, it's pretty busy. And then every now and then there's like certain fans that'll come through, and I'll sneak up and try and say hi to them, during the show and intermission or after the show if I have time to do that. We'll go up but we do a nice really walk around after the show and wave to all the fans at the end of the show. And it's just a really cool experience the way that they have the show formatted.
That's cool. That's really cool. So let me see here. I got something in here, and when I write these lyrics, I tend to just write. Well, you'll read it later on and know what you wrote. So what about team dynamic? What's that?
Team dynamic between Darron and myself?
Yes.
Well, so Darron and I have this interesting thing that we do. So we had to learn how to, like he said, we live together, travel together, work together, all the things. So we had to figure out how to navigate our relationships somewhat independently of one another, meaning one time or two, Darron will look at me and say, as your husband, that was really freaking cool. But as your teammate, you suck. We have a lot of work to do. And he means it with the most sincere meaning in his heart. He really does.
Right.
But, one instance comes to mind when I may have rolled the truck over, and it probably was a bit excessive of a rollover. And we had a lot of work to do after that, including all body mounts, and have to be ready for the next show the next day. So,
oh my God.
We have a great time.
So you pitch right in with the hand on deck. Your main guy there. When you're fixing the trucks, everybody jumps in and fixes it together, right?
Yep, that's the rule. You break it, you fix it.
Well, that's a good rule, I guess. It'll keep you from breaking stuff, maybe, huh?
Yeah. I don't know about that.
Yeah, exactly. Every once in a while, you just got to break something because it was just too cool of what you did to break it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There have been some times where, like I told you, when you get complacent and you forget that the truck will humble you real fast.
Yeah.
There have been some times in my career that I could count on how that occurred.
Yeah, I can imagine so. All right, so your very first time, and it's the finals, and you're racing Darron, and you look over there, and you're like, wow, I am racing my husband, and I'm behind the wheel of a Bigfoot truck, and so is he. What is that experience like?
It's actually really cool. I have to tell you this fun story. Darron is a smooth racer. He obviously has a lot more seat time than I do.
Sure.
But his smoothness in racing and consistency is aggravating to a female, especially to his wife, because my biggest obstacle is beating him. I could care less who else it was, but I always wanted to beat him because he's so good.
Right.
But this past year when we were in New Zealand, we added the racing format back to the show because it was a stadium, and I love racing. It's probably my favorite thing to do, but I will never proclaim that I am great at it because I haven't had a lot of experience with it. So I told the show director that I was like, if you put us in racing, I want to race him every time because my plan is to beat him. I will beat him one day. And I think I went through 3 or 4 shows. And he said, I don't know why you want to get me first round. You just meet me in the finals. And I finally said, okay, fine. If that's the way we'll do it, that's what we did. And that's what happened is I met him in the finals and I kicked his butt. And it was a victorious moment that I will never let him live down.
That's my next question. Are you ever going to let him live it down?
Nope. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And it was in the Bigfoot truck, and it was such a really cool experience, It's just a big feat. Like, we each have our own, not necessarily like winning the Champions Cup or winning the entirety of the show events and such. It's those little victories, I think, that keeps the spark alive,
Sure.
especially in our relationship being, so close all the time.
Right, exactly. Well, now you've been behind the wheel long enough and stuff. You know when something's not running right, when something's wrong, and
Yep.
you're able to communicate to your crew chief what's going on, right?
Yep, absolutely. Sometimes it's still in what I would say unexperienced girl format where I'm like, it's making this noise. I know it's not right, but I can't tell you exactly what's wrong, but I know it's making this noise. And so that drives Darren a little crazy because it's hard to figure out that woman logic.
Right. Well,
but I've been right about it almost every single time when I said something's not right.
well, that's cool. You don't make the, like, there's a noise it's making, it's like going, wah, 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 you know, and you look in the mechanic's handbook and like, what is wah, 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 you know? So that's woman logic, right?
Yes, completely. But I also jump in there and I try to help figure out what's going on because that's the way you learn. I think it's like, for me, like learning the trucks and learning the physics and things, how things work before I got behind the wheel, I think is really imperative to advancing your skill as a driver because when you know something's not right, if you can't help diagnose what's going on, then your person is looking for each and everything and they have no of what direction to look for.
Right, yeah. It makes you a better racer too. I think it makes you become one with the truck, you know. I think it just makes you a better but it's awful hard, like Darren said, you know, when you're out there and you're trying to listen to the truck and all you hear is fans screaming.
Yeah, it is very hard, but it's also a really cool experience. I don't want to throw that down, but it is a really cool experience and that oh my gosh, when we do our walk around, specifically when we did our stuff in the stadiums in New Zealand that were packed to the moons, like they added shows to 2 different events because we had sold out those shows. And I'm talking like 40 to 50,000 people sold out at one show.
That's crazy.
Like it's a big, humbling experience to know that many people are seeing your event and to be there to support you because it is such a novelty to them. And it just makes our job that much more important to perform.
Now, your Facebook page, is that for Europe and everything, or do you have a separate Facebook page for Europe, or what goes on there with your social media?
Yeah, so I go back and forth when I have the time and energy to put into it, which social media outlet that I spend most of my time on. We have a Schnell's Monster Truck page, but I've been very, very lazy of updating that. We pretty much typically use our Instagram accounts as where we post the most for our overseas adventures. I do some silly things and silly dances on TikTok, so I do have that platform as well. It's my low energy outlet. And then Facebook, we're on Facebook, I don't know, at least once a day or so, but we don't use it as regular as we used to. But most of the time, I would say like the easiest platform to reach us on would probably be Instagram.
So, out of all your places you've been, what was your favorite show? Where was your favorite place to be?
I knew you were going to ask me this question, and I was trying to formulate my answer while you were talking to Darren. And probably, okay, if I could rate my favorite countries that we've been to, New Zealand is top number 1. Australia is number 2. And I love the UK, so we could put a whole like kibosh on or like grouping on the UK. But places that we've been just once, like Portugal, we did Lisbon, Portugal. It stands out. It's really beautiful there. Where else did you say? You said New Zealand and Australia too, didn't you?
Ljubljana was beautiful.
Ljubljana was really cool, and that's in Slovenia. And that was just a different experience. Did not expect to be there. And I don't know, we've done some Middle Eastern countries. We've done Mexico stuff. We've done so much, it like is blurring together. We have some possibly really cool adventures that I can't publicly talk about just yet coming up this year with the tour. So I'm really looking forward to those opportunities. There are some dates that are hoping to be released soon. So I will encourage everyone to keep an eye out for those. And I don't know. I think New Zealand is my top favorite.
Right. Now, do you guys just do the European stuff, or will you be doing anything here in the States?
We've bounced back and forth a lot between like on our off tour weeks when we're home. You may see us like helping crew for other drivers, or we may pop up at a Firestone sponsorship event. But we are currently in putting together this newest monster truck that PEI built for us, Bigfoot 25, and getting it ready to go for its debut later this year here in Missouri. We're at the shop.
Now, I'm looking at the Bigfoot site right now, and you're not going to be in Colorado Springs on the 28th and the 1st of March, are you?
We will not be, but our I like to call him my son, Caleb Janicic, is going to be headed over to Colorado Springs, I believe. He's going to Texas this weekend, then goes to Colorado Springs. So he's going to put on a good show over there for those guys.
Well, good. I might have to try to go over. That's probably at the World Arena, probably, I would imagine. That's where they do that one at, I think.
Would that be? Yeah, I'm not 100% on that one.
Yeah, that's where it would probably be. So I'm looking here on the site, and anything, most of them is all, okay, so after Colorado Springs, we got Rockford, Illinois, Tulare, Alabama, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Corpus Christi, Texas, Sacramento, California, Council Bluffs, Stafford, Virginia, and then Leeds, UK.
Yes, we will be headed back over to the UK in a few weeks.
That's your next one then, is in Leeds?
Yep. Our next show performance will be Leeds, UK.
Now, have you been to Leeds before?
Yes, so we did Leeds, I think 2 years ago now.
So really, basically, the tour doesn't hit like they do here. Hey, we'll see you next year at this time, because you try to go to different venues, or does the tour really have a routine pattern that they're at all the time?
It's kind of different each year between some of the stops that we've done just once or twice, and we do some that we do every other year, some that we do every year. It just varies on which where the venue is with dates and what they want to run, I guess, that year for show stops.
Right. Your accommodations, are they nice accommodations, the hotels and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, most of the time it's anything that I don't have to book myself, I'll consider nice. So it's really great that they take care of the accommodations for us, and most of the time transportation over there. And we pretty much essentially worry about feeding ourselves and doing the tourist life.
Yeah. Now, do you have your own automobile over there, or do you have somebody that drives you around?
No, normally they drive us around. We've rented a car from time to time just to go explore, outside of the cities, with our group. I mean, this year we're super blessed that we have the two teams. It's Team Bigfoot and then PEI, and we are really great friends with all those guys. We have a really great group of drivers, and we hang out together. We go eat together, but we utilize a lot of public transportation too. We navigate the train systems and the taxis and things like that. It's really a fun experience, to be honest.
It's amazing the way that the train systems run over there. My father-in-law and my mother-in-law went over there, and my father-in-law said the trains are the way everybody travels. Is that true?
It is. A lot of people don't own cars over there. They will utilize like bicycles or electric scooters or manual or scooters, and then the public transportation system, which they seem to have pretty much built out. We are pretty much versed. We've been to London so many times now. We're pretty much versed in what navigation system to use and which tube to get on and which to get off, and where to stop, and what part of the city we like. We have favorite grocery stores like in Amsterdam and the UK. Cool. Like just really random things like that you wouldn't expect.
Sure. What about your food? What's your favorite food when you're going? Where was the best place you went that you were like, oh, I'm dying for this? Is amazing food.
Oh, that's hard because I have celiac, so I'm gluten-free, which makes it a little bit more challenging to eat. However, I say that, but most of the European countries take the allergens very seriously, and a lot of times, especially in the UK, when they seat you at a table, the first thing that they ask is, do you have any food allergies? And they take that very cautiously, so they take care of me. And it's really nice. We don't have that here in America, and I wish we did. I just think because we have, so many people with allergies to a lot of different things, if they would have an allergen menu a little bit more friendly like they do across the seas. But so I have favorite foods to eat in the UK. There's a place called Pizza Express, and they make gluten-free dough balls, so it's a little bit of a treat for me. It's like a donut hole, but it's literally pizza dough that you dip in butter. It's one of my favorite things to eat. What else? There's I visit a lot of coffee shops. I'm a coffee connoisseur. That is my European delicacy, I call it. I love to try different coffees. So we hit a lot of coffee shops over there, gluten-free bakeries. What else? You loved Italy and the pizza and pasta. Darren is a pizza guy all the way.
Sure.
That's his favorite food. I'm more of like, give me a steak and a baked potato kind of gal.
There you go.
Yeah.
Both of those fall into my realm, the steaks and the pizza both. So I'm good with either one of them. But so the coffees over there, I happen to love coffees myself.
Yeah.
What do you like? A strong coffee? What are your favorite? What's your palate?
I'm a medium roast gal, and I love a latte. But my favorite, I love to tell this story. I'm not a big drinker of alcohol.
Right.
Italy has this phenomena where they call it rolling up to the bar, but the bar experience is more like coffee experience. It's like they'll serve you like an espresso or a doppio or a cortado where it's just like, or an espresso macchiato where it's just a shot glass of espresso and like a little bit of steamed milk or some milk and sugar. And that's my favorite. I like to joke about doing that because it's my favorite. That's the kind of shots I'll take all day long. You give me coffee and I'm wired. Also, almost everyone on tour knows they don't want to see Rebecca without coffee. It's a very scary experience.
Especially good coffee, I bet. It's really
exactly.
When you got an addiction and you love it that much, then that's exactly what you do. You find the best that you can.
Yep.
Guaranteed.
I enjoy it.
Yeah, guaranteed. So, as it comes time to retirement, which everybody goes through in their lives, what do you want to be known for? Your mark.
Ooh, that's a loaded question. Ooh, that's heavy. I'm not sure I've actually put a lot of thought into that. I think the influence of social media allows people to portray one image in the internet world and then portray an image in real life. And I've always strived to be consistent across the board. I feel like I have always wanted to be just genuinely myself, true to myself, who I am. And I have always wanted to say, hey, look at me. I've been through some hardships in life and I'm able to come back from that and resilient because there's not another option. Especially with my medical stuff being such a surprise, I hope that I can inspire people to kind of challenge the norm, if you will.
Right.
Because my neurosurgeon told me that I should have never been doing what I've done my entire life, not necessarily just with monster trucks, but because of the nature of what my condition is.
Right.
That it's very rare that did not cause a problem for me. So to be able to have medical background, one, and to be able to medically challenge it with support of a neurosurgeon. They're very intelligent people. They go through a lot of schooling to do what they do. I just hope that it inspires someone somewhere that you can safely do that and come out successful on the other side.
That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Well, I tell you what, I really appreciate both of you taking the time to hang out with me tonight. And I know you're so busy, and when you come back into the States, you got so much you got to do. Plus, you got shop stuff you got to do and all that. But it means a lot for me that you guys took this time out tonight, especially because of the time difference. And you got to hang out with the old guy.
Yeah, I have still one of my favorite pictures from back in the day. I have a picture of you and I when you were announcing the show from backstage area. We were probably one of the most pinnacle people in who I was at that point, and being able to actually talk on a microphone whenever I could, and just having an experience of living life, because you always inspired people to do that, and you just always have had this positive aura around you, and we appreciate you inviting us to be on your show. And it's just been an honor to talk with you.
It's it's been an honor for me. I mean that from my heart. This show will be up on YouTube, so if you guys are flying long nights and you want to listen to it on YouTube, all you got to do is just go on there and it'll be on there. You'll be able to go to the website here pretty soon. We're going to open that up on Sunday, and we'll have all the past shows and stuff like that. But would you come back another time?
Absolutely. We could talk for 2 more hours.
Oh, I'll guarantee you we could. We really could. And we'll make it easy and we'll talk. And if you guys are in the States, when we do decide to do the Dan Runte show, part, we want to definitely have you guys on, because I want to have a lot of people from Bigfoot on because that's, that was Dan's life, and I want to definitely be there and represent it well.
Absolutely. Even if we're not in the States, we would be honored to be on the show again, Roller.
Okay, well, cool. Yeah, with the technology we have today, we can make that happen, can't we?
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's see here. My cousin Debbie has one more question. Your favorite countries. Does food sway you like for you liking let's see, for your favorite countries, does food sway you for liking the best?
For Darren, the answer would be yes. For Rebecca, the answer is definitely not. I've had really good food in my favorite places and really bad food in my favorite places. I think it's mostly the experience that we get while we're there for the short time. Like Darren said, we get maybe 2 days max to explore where we're at each week if we're going back-to-back weeks, traveling to different places. So we don't have a lot of time. So that initial experience, I think, is what really sets things apart from one another.
Right.
The UK, we tend to hit a lot of time in the winter, so it's a lot of like gloom and not a lot of sunny days. But we're headed back over there in their springtime this year, which is really exciting.
Nice.
Yeah, we're very excited for that.
Is it cold over there? Is it a different cold?
It is a different cold. It's a wet cold. We spend a lot of time in those places in their winter months because, like it just gives the kids something to do in the winter time and then to come to an arena to see something. So we spend a lot of time in winter. I'm kind of over winter already.
Yeah, me too. But we haven't had none out here, but I'm just ready for summer. I'm a summer guy. I can't go down to my shop. I can't do nothing, and I'm just that summertime guy. So
yeah.
Well, you guys have a good night. Thank you so much for being on the show. Be safe and keep in touch. It doesn't hurt every once in a while if you're not doing anything on a Sunday or a Wednesday if you're out of town and pop in on the show and just say, hey, just wanted to say hi, and that's all that matters, and go on down the road.
Well, fantastic. You have a great night yourself, Roller. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Bye-bye. All right, guys. Well, I'll tell you what, man. That's amazing. That is totally amazing that two young people get to enjoy their lives together out on the road in different countries and seeing different things like that. What amazing life that is, And to I'm just going to say it, okay? To be able to drive for I think it's one of the best monster truck companies out there, man. If Bigfoot, to be a Bigfoot driver, I think that's a total honor, and that would be totally cool. It really would be. So I wish them the best, and anybody that's their family on the show tonight, thank you for tuning in. We'd love to have you like the program and follow us, because we're going to have a lot of Bigfoot folks on here that you might know, that you might not know, and we definitely want to try to entertain you, and I hope you guys can be there. So let's just go ahead and do something here. Let's see here. We're going to do something right fast here. We let the program sit a little too long, and it's kind of froze up. It don't want to move that well here. Let's just do one of these Latin crossover songs that I created here. This is called Cafe Amor Del Mar. We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music.
Your fingers in my hair. Somewhere the tide keeps time in the dark, and love just found its spark. Little white walls and a painted blue door, candles flickered on a wooden floor, windows open to the rolling sea. You smiled across the table at me. Wine glasses catching gold off Spanish drifting through the night. I never meant to stay so long, but something felt like home.
The ocean whispered, quédate aquí.
Your eyes said everything to me. At Café Amor del Mar, where strangers don't stay strangers very long.
Under lanterns and coastal stars, two hearts learn the same song.
Baila conmigo despacio, let the moment last forever. If love has a place, it begins. It begins
at Café Amor del Mar.
Bare feet brushing under the table, your touch making me unstable. Street musicians down the lane, playing joy, not playing pain.
Palm trees swaying just outside, like they know what we're trying to hide. I never believed in destiny until destiny believed in me. The tide rolled in like a sweet slow kiss.
Qué hermosa noche, remember this.
At Café Amor del Mar,
where the ocean hums soft in the dark.
every laugh, every whispered word
Echoes like it's heaven heard. Quédate conmigo esta noche, don't let the music fade. If love writes stories in the sand, it writes
them at Café Amor del Mar.
no map could ever lead me here, no plan could draw you near, but somewhere between the wine and the sea, you turn into forever with me. Mi corazón late contigo, slow and true, and every wave keeps saying, I found you.
At Café Amor del Mar,
Where the moonlight touches who we are,
no past, no fear, no disguise.
just soltaire and honest eyes. Para siempre empieza aquí, forever starts tonight. If heaven never had a door, it opened at Café Amor del Mar. Guitars stringing to the tide, and I'm still right here by your side.
There you go, Cafe Amor del Mar, right here. I tell you what, in tribute to Bigfoot tonight, let's play a little bit of Blue Oval Love. We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music.
Daddy ordered it just the way he dreamed. 360 V8 4-speed machine, blue paint shining under showroom lights. Said, son, this truck's built for life. Bench seat waiting on the miles to come. Late days, tailgate setting sun. That blue truck rolled like it was meant to be the start of something bigger than steel to me. Saturday mornings, coffee and dust, parts store, parking lot door slamming shut. He knew every counter, every name, bolts in a brown bag, oil stained hand. I'd spin the rack, smell rubber and grease, listening close while he taught life to me. Every seat, every turn of a wrench built more than a truck on that old workbench. He said, son, pay attention, this matters. Some lessons don't come with the words. That's where I got my blue oval love. Riding shotgun, looking up, out before dawn, campfire smoke and radio songs, gravel roads and barefoot days. That truck carried us 1,000 ways. He tapped the dash, say she's running strong, like the truck and him were getting along. I didn't know then what I know now. I was learning who I was becoming somehow. Every mile was a memory made. Every turn taught me the man I'd be. Yeah, that's where I got my blue oval love. Riding shotgun growing up, learning life through a windshield view. Man and machine, the bond was true. Yeah, that Ford was more than chrome and rust. It was family, faith, and trust. From his hands down to my gloves, that's how I learned blue oval love. Now the keys hang right by my door. Same old truck, but I'm not a boy anymore. No wife yet, no kids in the back, just open roads and a worn out map. But I see the future in that passenger seat. Little muddy boots and laughter riding with me. One day I'll say climb on in and start it all over again. 'Cause that's where I got my blue oval love. Passed down, never gave up. Built on miles and family time. Old Ford steel and bloodline pride. Yeah, this truck's been sent from above. Runs on memories and hard-earned trust. One day I'll hand over the keys I'm thinking of and pass on that blue oval love. 360 V8 still fires right up, running strong on blue oval love.
There you go, a little bit of blue oval love right there. So this next song I'm going to play is made for all my monster truck drivers. It's called Life on the Road. It's just basically the life of a monster truck driver on the road, man. I mean, no family time, no nothing like that. Missing late night calls and stuff from your loved ones. So this here is Life on the Road. We'll be right back with Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music.
Rolling out at sunrise, my diesel humming low. Arena lights are waiting, another town to go. Motels and mile markers, truck stop coffee strong. Crowds will cheer for minutes, but the road goes on so long. It's life on the road, behind the wheel and steel, living for the thunder. The roar is all I feel. From the sleeper to the spotlight, it's the only life I know. But I'm missing home and family each mile I go. Grease-stained hands and late nights, the crew is family too. We chase the fire and fury just to bring the show to you. Long hours on the highway, chasing down a monster truck. Driver's dream, a hero for the moment, then I'm gone like gasoline. It's life on the road, behind the wheel and steel, living for the thunder. The roar is all I feel. From the sleeper to the spotlight, it's the only life I know. the sleep or to the spotlight. It's the only life I know, and I'm missing my home and my family. Now it's time for another show.
Well, there you go, guys. There it is, right there, life on the road, and that's really kind of pretty much the way it is right there. So let's go back over the calendar again right here for all of our shows coming up right here. Of course, we got Josh Baumgartner on the 22nd. That'll be this Sunday. He is a Bigfoot driver, monster truck driver. Then we have Alan Pizzo on the 25th. Alan is a legendary name in the monster truck world. Predator monster truck, Prowler monster truck, and been around a long time. So it's going to be good to talk to Alan. I haven't talked to him in a long time. And then we jump over into March, and on March 1st. We have Lindsay Johnson, the wife of B.J. Johnson. She was the crew chief of the Gas Monkey Car Garage monster truck there for Feld. And then following on the 8th, we have Larry Swim from Bigfoot. He'll be talking to us about his career with the monster truck world, driving for Paul Schaefer and Bigfoot finally, and finishing up in the Bigfoot truck. And then 40 years in the business. We're going to be talking to Bobby Holman and Cody Holman, father and son team. They also drive for the Hot Wheels Monster Truck Tour, and that's on the 11th. Man, Bobby has been in monster trucks for 40 years. Team Beast is they're just great people, man. Bobby is excuse me, my throat's a little dry tonight. Hold on just a second here. Bobby has been around a long time. I've done many a show with him. I'm sorry about that, folks. Anyway, we're gonna be talking to him about the evolution of Team Beast and where it is now and things like that. And then we drop down to the 29th, and we have J.R. Adams with Bigfoot, and he'll be on. I am talking to Mike Welsh. Mike, I've given him some show dates. He's going to get back with me. We're going to get him on the show. Mike is a long time ago driver, drove a truck called Super Pete and many other trucks, but Mike is a well-known name in the monster truck business, and he's on Facebook a lot and, with his heavy hauling and stuff like that, but we're going to talk to him. And I still got to get busy. I still got to fill up the 4th and the 15th and the 18th and the 25th, the 22nd. So March is going to be here before I know it, so I better get busy, right? So anyway, guys, that does it for the show tonight. We appreciate each and every one of you. We love each and every one of you. Thank you very much for you folks that's been here tonight for your first time. Welcome. We hope you come back. Please like our show. Follow our show if you like it. Please follow it. And tell your friends about us, man. We want to make this show grow, and we're going to bring you the best entertainment we can, along with the best music. We are working with some more songwriters and artists here in the area, and they're going to be on the show. So we look forward to bringing you all kinds of different kinds of shows here on Pedal to the Metal Motor and Music. And remember one thing, guys, I couldn't do this without you, so thank you very much for being my lug nuts. And you guys are the bomb. You're the best. If you're looking to buy CDs, you're going to be able to buy CDs on the website. If you're looking to buy clothing line, you're going to be able to buy clothing line on the website. You're going to be able to watch old episodes. The website's going to have a lot of user-friendly deals on it for you guys, so you don't have to traipse all over the world of the internet world trying to find different things that Roller's doing. So thank you very much, and you all have a blessed day, and we'll talk to you again on Sunday. On behalf of all of us here at Pedal to the Metal Motors and Music, we love you very much. Good night.
All right, everyone, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Pedal to the Metal. I want to send out a huge thank you to each and every one of you for tuning in and supporting the show. I also want to thank all of our amazing sponsors. You're the ones that help keep the wheels turning, and we truly appreciate you. Be sure to join us every Wednesday and Sunday. We kick things off with music at 6 p.m. each night, and the full show starts at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Until next time, keep the pedal down, heads high, and we'll see you at the next show.